Welcome to the 2023 IBSA World Games from the Midlands in the United Kingdom. From wherever you happen to be in the world right now, it's great to have you on board for this women's blind football semi-final matchup. I'm Jason Swain and I'm joined today by none other than Dixie Dean. And with 25 years experience within blind football, ranging from England, coaching and mostly refereeing, Dixie will be definitely relaying the finer points of the game to everyone watching and listening today. Good morning to you, Dixie. We will listen to the national anthems.
Yeah, looking forward to it, Jason.
Nice to have you on board.
Please rise if you are able for the national anthem of Japan.
शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Let's meet our two teams. Introducing Japan.
Okay, the national anthems being well observed as always by both teams, and we'll look at the starting lineups for today. First of all, top of their group, Japan start with Rina Wachi, Takuchi Mako, Suzuki Rika, Kikushima Sora, and she's the person who will be ploughing the goals in as she's done all tournaments so far. Wakasugi Haruka, and the substitutes Machiko Terabashi, Mikawa Kaga, Ichika Tanaka, Hana Shimitana. The head coach is Natsuki Yamatamo. Japan surely favourites, Dixie, for this one.
Yeah, I think so. They've looked very impressive during the group stages, and they played 3-1-3, scored lots of goals, and with the number 10 up front, they've got a really lively goal scorer, and I can only see this going one way, Jason, really, to be honest.
Yeah, well, let's hope for the neutral that India do come and compete, and we look at their starting lineup. So we've got Kanchan Patel in goals, Asha Chowdhury, Deepak Campbell, Sangeeta Mecha and Nirma Ben. They've got here from their own initiative, they were one loss, one win and one draw, Dixie, across the board. They're quite a well-balanced team.
Yeah, they've done exceptionally well, India, because they haven't been going for that long. They've only been in existence for a couple of years. So, as a football nation, they've really grown quite quickly over that 2-year period. And I know they've got Karen Seals on their coaching team, who's ex-England footballer, and I think he's been working with them for 2 years as well. So they've gained a lot of experience from Karen, who's he played probably over 100 games for England during his time, so that's helped him. And I think they've done exceptionally well to get to this stage of the competition. So I'm not going to say that they're going to roll over and think our job is done.
Yeah.
But they can go back to India after, if they do go out today, they can go back and with their heads held high, and I'm really proud of their achievements.
Well, let's hope for them and any neutral watching that this is a hotly contested fixture and it's not one-sided as Japan have shown already. However, as a semi-final, anything can happen. It's a one-off game, Dixie.
Yeah, exactly. It's, as you say, it's a one-off game. There's you have to perform on the day, and your sort of past performances don't really account for much. If you don't perform on today, you're going to go out. But I've seen no signs of that from Japan. They seem to be they're well up for it, and in all their group games, even the ones when they were already through, they still kept going. And so I've got no reason to think they're not going to go full throttle today. So I think it'll be one of those that India will be defending for their lives, really, for most of it, and relying on the breakaway and try and sneak a goal. I'm sure the coach will be thinking, right, if we can get to half-time 0-0, we stand a chance. And, if they can do that and then build on it, you never know what might happen. You get an injury, or, a decision goes against you, or, there's a mistake in the defence and they bag a goal, and, everything can turn round.
Okay, and as we see on screen, the captains discussing final preparations with the referees. But if we can look at the fixtures for the rest of the day, we're at game 1 in this beautiful Bournemouth Arena. The sun is shining down, and the first game, Japan take on India. The next semi-final will be the women's game, Argentina against Sweden, and then we'll have a bit of a break because at 2:30 we will see Spain taking on France in the men's section. Iran will take on Morocco in the next one, and then Brazil will be taking on Mexico. So a lot to look forward to today, Dixie, with some key fixtures coming up. But it's always good when you get to this stage of the tournament.
Oh yes, this is where it all happens, isn't it? The earlier part of the group stages can be a bit cat and mouse, but it's we're now down to the business end of it, and we've got some really exciting games coming up in the men's section for you later. So that's from 2:30 onwards. Game every 2 hours.
We have, and speaking of exciting, one player that's really excited me in this tournament is the number 10 for Japan, and that's Kikushima Sora, if I can pronounce that right. And 5 goals already. I mean, she destroyed England in that first game, and she's just kept going from strength to strength. Dixie, what do you make of her so far?
Yeah, she hits the ball so well. She's so strong, and against England, she scored a hat-trick in 6 minutes, and then they took her off.
Yeah,
it was unbelievable. England was 3-0 down after about 8 minutes in the game. She scored a hat-trick in 6. And they rested her, which I can perfectly understand. And she scored again in the next game, and another goal in the next game. So, yeah, she's some player, and the Indians are going to have to make sure that they don't leave her with any space in and around the box.
The danger also is they take her off, and you've got someone else on 3 goals, Shimitana Hana, number 13, who can come on and add that firepower. So it's double trouble in many ways for this Indian team.
Yeah, they've got goal scorers all over the place, and it's a nice problem for the coach to have, isn't it? Which one does he start? Because they both score goals, but to my mind, it's the number 10 who's his main go-to person.
So we're ready to start the game, Dixie, and Japan will kick off right to left in the all-white strip. India will be playing left to right on your screen, and they will be in the all-orange with black socks. A beautiful day at this Bournemouth Arena. The sun shining down, and the teams are about ready to go. Referees just taking their final preparations, taking time to get things right. Everything needs to be set for this key semi-final matchup. We look forward to having you either watching or listening, and please enjoy the game. Referee just checking with both keepers that they are ready to go, checking with the guides, and we're off. Kikuchima Sora gets after that ball. It is to the right-hand side, deep in the Japan half, and now it's against the boards on the right-hand side. Sought out by the one and only Sora as she takes full flight, and she's in with an early chance, deep into the penalty area of India. Back to goal right now. She's surrounded by 3 Indian players and really getting the respect she deserves early by being crowded out there, Dixie.
Yeah. I'm not surprised the Indian coaches say if she gets the ball, you get 2 and 3 players around her, because she's been something else this week. She's really high quality, and as I say, she got a fantastic strike on her, and she can hit it from 10-15 yards, no problem at all.
And against the left-hand side is Wakasugi Haruka, who'll try to play that ball down the line, and it's about at the halfway line, but looks like we've come to a bit of a stalemate. No, the ball has popped out, and it goes right. Sora will be in the vicinity. Ball is now played into the Japan half. It's the first time that India have got out of their own half, but with only 1 minute played, I'm sure we'll see them coming forward at some point. This ball is rolling right towards the Indian goalkeeper, who cannot come out of their box. But so important, the communication of the keepers in this tournament, Dixie.
Yeah. Basically, your goalkeeper is controlling the defensive third. You will see there's dotted lines across the pitch, and the pitch is split up into 3. So the goalkeeper controls the defensive third. Your head coach controls the middle third, then your attacking coach the attacking third, and obviously vice versa for the other team. Coach is not allowed to speak if the ball is not in their area.
And the ball right now is with Ashiram Chowdhury, and it's just going back to her own goal. The Japanese team are looking to seek that ball out and pick it up, but it's at the halfway line now. India giving as good as they're taking at the moment. It's a quite even-sided game. Ball is once again against the boards. Plenty of communication from the manager from India. And there's a little bit of a tussle, a good physical battle there by the number 14, Wakasuga Haruka, with also the number 9, Sangeeta Mecha. So a good physical challenge for both teams right now. Do you see that being a part of India's game to try throw Japan off, Dixie?
I think what they're trying to do is just stifle the game a little bit, as the number 10's just lashed one into the side.
Yeah. And we speak about how physical this game can be. Kikuchima Sora just let fly, and that ball just hit the outside of the net. A good chance, early chance for Japan, and just showing her intent already. She seems really fired up for this one. Yeah,
she's been excellent all week. But just going back to what we say, in India, really to give themselves a chance, they've got to break the game up. They can't let it become an open and attacking display. They need to be stopping the game, slowing everything down, and just hopefully frustrate the Japanese, then obviously create a chance for themselves when a mistake occurs in the Japanese defence, which will happen though, because everyone makes mistakes, and they capitalise on that mistake.
Well, the ball is around the midline of the game, but it's against the boards again, and India, it looks like a strategy to press against those boards, and like you said, Dixie, thwart the game. The number 9, Sangeeta Mecha, has been instrumental in doing that already, and Ashiram Chowdhury, they're kind of working in packs as they try break down this Japanese onslaught.
Yeah, but here we go again.
And Kikuchima Sora had a chance to go through on goal, but beautiful skill using the bottom of the feet and going through, and she has a shooting opportunity, but what a save Kanchan Patel to the rescue there.
Yeah, she's, as I say, I keep on saying about this number 10. You'll get fed up with me talking about it. She is a different class, honestly. She worked her way through, using the sole of her foot to turn and twist and throw the Indian players off, and she unleashed a lovely shot with her right foot, and the keeper's done really well to get down to it and push it away.
And while you've been talking, Dixie, Kanchan Patel has just made another excellent save from one of the other Japanese players. So a little bit of a spell of one-way traffic as Japan go towards the goal. There's a heavy collision, but play on, says the referee. And India knows she'll bring it back, and it looks like a free kick. Tell us about that one, Dixie.
Yeah, well, what's happening there? The referee's giving an indirect free kick. She'll give it to Japan. I think I'll just wait for clarification by which way she's... Some of the referees are a bit slow in pointing which way they've given it.
So an indirect free kick possibly to Japan.
Yeah, because the Indian was on the floor when she played the ball.
Okay, and it's just inside the final third, looking towards India's goal. So a non-shooting opportunity, but could be played subtly in front of Sora, who has a chance and sight on goal. It's a three-person wall. Dixie, what do you see coming out of this? What could she do?
Well, I'd say you see you've got number 10 on the ball and you've got an Indian player just behind her. When she puts the player behind her will just put her foot on top of the ball. When the referee blows the whistle, she'll just roll it a little bit, and the number 10 will then either go left or right and get a shot off. So we're going through the process. This process, if the ball is in the attacking third, this is the process of what happens. The referee gives an opportunity for the goalkeeper to set a wall first, which she's done. Then she'll ask the keeper, are you finished? And then she gives an opportunity to the guide behind the goal to do his work. Whilst he's doing his work, the wall and the keeper are not allowed to make any noise.
Very interesting. But the keeper has already set her wall. Kanchan Patel organised that wall fairly quickly, and the guide has gone round to tap the post. The referee intervenes, but this could be a strike on goal from Kikashima Sora. And let's see how this one plays out. We'll take you through the action.
Yeah, she's about 13, 14 metres out. Central goal. The referee wasn't happy with one of the Indian players, and I think she probably said something or spoke. As I say, they have to be quiet. Once they've had their opportunity to set up, that's it. They're not allowed to say anything at all.
And the final checks by the guide are being done. So over the ball stands the number 7, Tekuchi Mako. She'll slide that ball in front, and Kikashima Sora, she'll dance around two of the Indian defenders. But a great job, working in packs really, those Indian defenders, as they come over and thwart that attack. And it comes to absolutely nothing, which is a surprise really from what we've seen already from this Japan team. Great defending by India.
Yeah, great defending by India, but I thought she was very slow to move off from the free kick. Free kick was played, she just stood there and it sort of waited for the Indians to come out to her. But good defending, and they've thwarted that attempt by Japan. So we've played nearly 6 minutes now, and they're still holding fast.
The ball ends up in the hands of Kanchan Patel, the goalkeeper for India. She'll organise her troops and roll this ball out against the boards on the side. India have a chance to venture into this Japan half. They're led by the number 3, Asher M. Chowdhury, as she takes it towards the other corner flag. And we're possibly looking at a corner deep on the left in Japan territory. A nice bit of play by the Indian team there. Yeah,
that's great. They've got the ball up the other end and they bags themselves a corner. And, obviously not only does that give them an opportunity to score, but, it gives defensively a little bit of a rest and a bit of a breather, and they can regroup. The 2 goals they've left at the back there can have a bit of a breather and probably a sigh of relief. And
well, Japan have set up, Dixie, with 4 defenders just inside their own penalty area. A common theme of these corners have been for the attackers to try get around the penalty area and get inside to the middle of the field. Doesn't work there, but that's been the strategy of most of the teams.
Yeah, most of the teams, the player running with the ball will try and arc around.
Sora bursting through. Great ball across to the number 7. Takicho Maku, who's seen plenty of the ball, and she'll go through and have a chance to maybe shoot on sight, but great defensive work once again by Asher M. Chowdhury. Sorry, I broke you off.
No. It was much more important for you to commentate on the actual action and rather than me babbling on about how you take a corner.
Yeah, we have another corner though, so go ahead.
So I can babble now. Yeah, normally there's what you call the golden area. The golden area is directly in front of the goals, around 6 or 7 yards out. That's where you want to try and get your players into. So on corners and stuff, they tend to run up the boards, arc around, then come back in at the goal. So they're getting a bigger picture of the goal. If you look at angles, if you come in from the side, the actual picture of the goal's that much smaller. And so if you can get in front of the goal, you've got a bigger target to hit. So we just had a Japanese sub.
We just have, and Shimitana Hana has just entered the game on 3 goals. She replaces Takuchi Mako, who's put in a really, really good stint as she takes a well-earned breather. We're back to the action with 8 minutes 20 left in this first half. The score is 0-0 and not much in it. Only 2 early opportunities from the Japanese team to score, but Kanchan Patel has been up to the challenge and saved both of those shots, and the Indian team giving as much as they're getting at the moment. Who would probably be the happier of the 2 managers right now, Dixie?
Yeah, I'm sure the Indian manager's really happy. Just to clarify the substitutions, it's roll on, roll off. So if you can take a player off, then bring them back a minute later. So it's not like standard football. If you're off, that's you done. They're roll on, roll off subs.
So the corner is to be taken. Kikishimu Sora tries to come in field to that golden area and strike that ball. As you said, there'll be another corner, so they'll get another chance to employ that strategy. But just as you said, Dixie, trying to get into that golden zone to try and get a strike on goal, and unfortunately for Japan, that was once again blocked by India. I think as this game goes on, you've got Sangeeta Mechi, who's at times a lone striker for India. She possibly will push up, in case they get a breakaway, and she'll have a chance of going through. That's been something that's a possibility for this Indian team. Yeah,
like late on in the second half, if it's still 0-0, I'm sure they'll have to go expansive, and they will leave on corners and free kicks, probably leave one player up front, and basically because if you win it and the 4 defenders are all in around the goal, where are you going to pass it to? You won't have an outball. So, but here we go. The Indians are bringing it forward, just coming up to the halfway line. It's a good little run.
It is, Dixie, and it's like you know what you're talking about. That just happened. The Indians just came out of their box with the number 8. Rana Akshari just pursued that ball, and suddenly we're into the middle third of the field. Ball is against the boards again. The number 14, Wakasuge Haruka, will have the ball. Taken over by the impressive Kikishima Soru, who sprays that ball to the other side, and it ricochets off the boards at the other end. But this ball will be picked up, looks by the Japanese team, and once again, the number 13, who's just come on, making her impact felt. Shimitana Hana taking over with the ball. She'll look to go on a run, but stopped again.
There's a bit of lack of communication amongst the Japanese girls there. They're not talking to one another, and India have come out with the ball.
And here's a chance of a break and a bit of physical play there. The referee allows it to go on for now. But surely three defenders, 3 Japanese defenders around. At what point does that become too physical, Dixie?
Well, it's a very thin dividing line. They can be around her, it's not a problem, but if they start, being over aggressive and stuff, the referees will intervene then. But we were watching yesterday as it rolls through to the Japanese keeper, watching the Japanese yesterday, the men, and oh my word, they defend with 4 every time. No matter where the ball is, there was 4 Japanese players around the ball. You chuck a blanket up in the air and you would catch all 4 of them. It was unbelievable, but very, very effective.
So the ball is rolled out from the Japanese keeper. It's down the right-hand side, deep into the India territory, as they're on the edge of their own box, still defending resolutely, but it comes to Hana picks the ball up, passes to Sora. Sora going back towards her goal, manages to change direction and goes back to Hana. Great interlinking play by those two. Double trouble for any opposition playing this Japan team, and it goes back to Sora. Sora will have a chance to take this one on. She does indeed. She has the goal in range. A beautiful turn by Sora as she's once again crowded out by more or less the whole Indian team as they're defending by committee, and it's brought out by the number 8, Rana Akshara. Here's Sora with a chance, the shooting chance, and she's in on goal. Will the ball run too far? It just does, but another opportunity there, Dixie.
Yeah, I think we've got another corner here to Japan. Yeah, she's not quite on it yet, the number 10 for Japan, really. I've seen her move a lot quicker than that, and yeah, she's just lacking a little bit, but great defensive work by the Indians. They're sticking to their task, and yeah, we've only now got 5 minutes of the second half left, and the coach is going to be well happy with this going into half-time if they can keep it 0-0.
Yeah, no doubt, and it looks like they've done their homework pretty well. You know, they'll have been studying, you know, different strategies that the Japanese team have come up with, and definitely the main players and the areas that they're playing in. But India get a chance to break. It's at the feet of the number 8 for India, and she'll cascade into the other half. Still a chance with the ball, but once again, that 3 or 4 person defence, and the Japanese all over her like a cheap suit, Dixie.
Yes, indeed. One of those made in Hong Kong. The Japanese have won the ball and are attacking down the right-hand side. She's left it behind her, and she's picked it back up again, gone to the boards, coming back off the boards, and I'll pass back over to you, if I may.
Yeah, the Indians being pegged back once again, going back to goal, and in their beautiful orange kit with black socks, they have a chance to once again come forward, and it's that girl, Akshara Rana, who takes it on for a split second. She's still going. What determination by Aksan. Surely that time we may have had a free kick, but no, once again, the physicality of the game allowed to be played, and it's consistent refereeing, would you say?
Yeah, this is quite a brutal sport,
yeah.
as you can see, and it is physical, and you've got to have a lot of courage to play it. And the referees, you know, if they see it's getting dangerous, they'll stop it. But you do get a lot of bumping in the game, because that's how they're fishing for the ball a lot of the time with their feet, and they're making contact with the legs rather than the ball because they don't know where it is.
And let's not forget, these are the high-level elite athletes within their sport. And you know, if you compare this to, say, a Premier League game, any sort of contact, players are going down. These guys just keep going and going and going. And like you say, it's just the physicality of the sport is one of the things that's a reason to watch it and listen to it.
Well, you know, yesterday afternoon I brought that in my commentary. We were watching one of the men's games, and like the men's game, it's been going a lot longer than the female game. That's a lovely shot by the number 10. It's rolled into the right-hand post is what we look, but the keeper's chucked a cap on it, and no problems.
And it was a chance there for Sora, and a clear chance, and like you said, she would have put that probably away in the group stage games, but a little bit of added pressure, and she scuffed a couple of those shots. The ball is on the left-hand side. Once again, it's happily, it seems, by the Indian team, pegged against those boards, and Japan are going back towards their own goal, which will suit the Indians no problem at all, as the keeper will play the ball now to Kikushima Sora against the boards on the right-hand side. It'll come back across into the Japan half, and the number 8, as always, Akshara Rana, will have a chance to pursue this ball, and she'll have gained her team a corner.
Yeah, so we've got just over 2 minutes to go, and perhaps they're going to stop the clock. Just over 2 minutes to go, and it's going to be a corner, but it's a timeout as well, so they get a minute's drinks break, and are allowed one per team, one per half as well.
So would you say this is for fitness reasons? The teams have been brought across just to get a drink, or what sort of strategy with 2 minutes to go would be put in place? Will India go for it in these 2 minutes, or will they still be cautious and sit back?
I think the Indian coach is probably just reinforcing what he said before the game and saying, "Come on, girls, we're doing really well. We've got 2 minutes to go. Let's keep a clean sheet, and we'll get in at half time, and we'll look at the situation as it develops into the second half." Obviously, because it's a bit warm as well, they'll need fluids and everything. Just gives everyone a breather and just a chance to clear their heads and reset and get ready for these last 2 minutes, and then they can get in at half time. And if they're going to make any sizable changes, they've got 10 minutes to do it in.
And speaking of changes, within these last 2 minutes, it has allowed Japan to make a substitution, and it looks like Kikushima Sora will have the chance to take a well-extended rest. She'll have the 2 minutes and then half-time to counter that. And with Shimitana Hana, they still have a goal-scoring threat on the field. But Japan, what a luxury it is to be able to rotate your main player, especially in the semi-final, Dixie.
Yeah, well, you take one player off who scored 5 and bring another player on who scored 3. So it's not bad, is it? But we're going to have a restart here. It'll be a corner to India. So right down the other end from the goal with just over 2 minutes left of this half. I'd say the Indians have done extremely well, and they're going to be really pleased if they can hold 8 to half time. And
the Indians have a corner, but the main threat here to me comes from Japan. It's a three-person wall just inside the box, but the keeper for Japan, Rina Wachi, has already set something up. So if she gains the ball, she'll look to throw that ball against the boards down the right-hand side, and we have that goal threat. Shimitana Hana waiting for her chance to gain that ball and possibly have a counter-attack, Dixie.
Yeah, she's gone right up onto the top right-hand corner of the ball and just looking where the other Indian player is. I can't see her from my angles anywhere. I can see 3 of them. I got her. I can see her now. Yeah, so the Indians have left one at the back there to cope with the Japanese Paralympic awards, but
corner ball is taken.
What they didn't want.
Yeah, and it was a poor corner. It was not played well. But I suppose the positive is it didn't allow Japan to counter-attack. As good physical play once again by the number 9, Sangita Mecha, who's taken this game at times to the Japanese. You can't fault her effort, Dixie, as she looks to cascade once again into that Japanese penalty area.
Yeah, because she's working really, really hard for her team. I think we got another corner. So yeah, she's working really hard for her team because she's basically up there on her own against 3 Japanese players. But all the time she's doing that, we're not down the other end around the Indian goal, and no chances of being created for the Japanese to score. So it's sacrificing her game for the benefit of the team. So we've got a corner out on the right-hand side as we look at it, and we'll see what they do.
Yeah, they choose to chip that ball into the area, and it goes all the way across. And Japan playing on that left-hand side board, and the ball gets stuck once again. It just looks like the strategy is not to let that Japanese team go down the side of the boards. As soon as they start going, the Indian team have an answer. They get themselves against the boards and create a barricade so that there's no one-way path going down the sides, which the Japanese have done all in the group stages. So a ball will roll possibly through to the Indian goalkeeper, and Kanchan Patel, who's not seen the ball for quite a while, will have 50 seconds to make an impact within this first half. She rolls the ball out to the left-hand side. It's with Sangita Mecha, who picks it up, and she starts towards that Japan goal. She stopped briefly, but she's still managing to keep going. What a run by the striker for India as she gets into the final third of the Japanese. Now it's stopped, and finally the Japan team managed to contain her, but another good run there by the lone striker, Dixie.
Yeah, she's doing really well because she, like, when she's on her run, she's tying 3 Japanese defenders up. So it's given the other Indian girls a rest, and they need a rest as we enter the last 10 seconds. So this is going to end up 0-0 half-time, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and going into the second half, I mean, we have a chance here, may run out of time. Oh, and it would have been a great chance as Mako Takuchi went through there, and she would have had a great chance and a chance to shoot and test that keeper. But as we say, Dixie, going into the second half, the managers will have chance to regroup, they'll have chance to discuss things, but surely, you know, the Indian team have got to be the happier of these two teams going in at half-time.
Yep. Yeah, we've got a few highlights to show you. Yeah, they're going to be definitely the happier of the two teams going in at half-time. And, you know, the Indian coach might say, well, you've defended so well so far, let's defend again and go for penalties.
Yeah. And
you know, that could be a game plan.
It could be a game plan. And, I mean, they've only had really 2 shots on goal, and the keeper, you know, Kanchan Patel will be more than happy with where they've come from. They've not been real close shots. They've been quite a long way out, and she's been able to deal with them fairly well. Yeah. So the tale of the tape is 0-0's a fair result at half-time. Yeah,
exactly. And as I say, there's been nothing that she's extended her, really. I'm just looking at Indian coach. He's got absolutely apoplectic out there.
He's not happy. And if you can see on the screen, he's just within shot of the right-hand side, and he's remonstrating to his coaching staff, looking at how those corner balls should be played, because he knows any chance of a set piece may be their breakthrough. So he's just going through, and the passion on show in this semi-final is a joy to watch, really, as he's really angry, getting after that. He does, yeah.
And the person he's having a go at is the guide, his own guide from behind the goal. He's absolutely fuming. So obviously, yeah, my word, you don't see that very often.
You don't. And it's a great way to end the first half with a lot of passion, because this game has been played like that. So we'll have a chance to have a breather, Dixie. We'll join you guys back in a few minutes. But from me and Dixie, a chance to go get yourselves a drink at half-time and come back and enjoy this second half. It's Japan 0, India 0.
It's fast, technical and tense. This is your guide to five-a-side football. There are 5 players per team, 4 outfield players and a goalkeeper. The aim of the sport is to score a goal by kicking the ball into your opponent's goal, and at the end of the game, whoever scored the most wins. Players must wear eye shades to ensure that all players have the same level of vision. That is apart from the goalkeepers, who aren't required to wear eye shades and can be fully sighted. Their job is to keep the ball from going in the goal behind them. But how do the players on the field know where the ball, or indeed the goal, is? Well, the ball in blind football is specially designed to make sound whenever it moves. Also, each team has a guide behind the opposition goal to help direct them. Each player is required to shout "Voy" when going for the ball. This ensures every player has the cues they need to help build a picture of what's going on and what to do next in defence or attack. To help this, total silence is required from the crowd until a goal goes in. Voy is Spanish for go, and it was the Spanish who were credited with originally developing blind football in the 1920s. As well as the Paralympics, teams from all corners of the world can compete at World, European, Asian, African and America's Championships, as well as a World Grand Prix.
Blind football can be played by both men and women, with the historic First Women's World Championships coming up in 2023.
So what are you waiting for? Give it a try.
IBSA, International Blind Sports Federation, presents, with the support of the International Paralympic Committee, IBSA Anti-Doping App, the first application of its kind in the Paralympic movement, specifically designed for blind and visually impaired people. Athletes, coaches, medical staff, managers, and the public in general now have a powerful tool to stay focused on the principles of clean sport. Scrolling down the main menu, you can find all the important themes you need to know to play fair and be alert to testing procedures and necessary adaptations for athletes with visual impairments. IBSA gives top priority to anti-doping control, being the only international federation with 3 sports in the Paralympic family: goalball, football, and judo. IBSA anti-doping app has external links, namely to WADA, where our sport agents can always find the most updated information, especially the list of prohibited substances and methods. Glory in sport can only be achieved by the athlete's awareness of their rights and responsibilities. You can find them on the IBSA anti-doping app. IBSA is continuously promoting anti-doping education to all its affiliate athletes and sport agents, not only about the consequences of the use of doping and the risk of using supplements. IBSA believes that education is the major tool to fight doping in sport. Informed athletes can make better decisions. Download the app now at the usual operating system stores.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have seen history being made today.
Such a great team at these championships.
IBSA. Beyond sight. Feel the sport.
So, welcome back to the second half of this first semi-final in the women's the women's blind tournament. Correcting me is Dixie Dean alongside, who'll relay the finer points of the game. But, all to play for. 0-0, Dixie, in this women's blind competition semi-final. The setting, if you've just joined us, is Birmingham, the beautiful Bournebrook pitch at the University of Birmingham. And we'll look at Japan now. We'll be playing left to right with Kikushima Sora starting the game for them. And the team India will be in the all-orange kit going right to left. How do you see this one going early in terms of Japan possibly mounting some more attacks, Dixie?
Yeah, I can't really see any difference from the first half, really. I think the Indian team, they defended brilliantly in that first half, and they've managed to shut Japan out, which is a feat in itself because they have been pretty free scoring in the group games. So I don't think they'll change anything for the first probably 7 or 8 minutes. Then hopefully they'll give it a go in the last 5 or 6 and try and get a goal, and if not, go for the penalties.
So 15 minutes on the clock, and here we go for the second half. The ball is crossing the midline into the final third of the, and Japan will go forward. A quick shot by Sora as she shows her intent, goes through to the goalkeeper once again, Kanchan Patel. She'll have a chance to roll this ball out. It will be aimed for the boards at the left-hand side. Great control by the number 9, Sangeeta Meche, who had a great first half. She'll be the lone striker up front as the ball right now is at the halfway line, once again against the boards, but Meche comes inside. She'll start on her run, thwarted by the Japanese defenders, who bring it back over into the Indian half. A little bit of keep away by this Japanese team as the number 7, Takuchi Mako, takes it on, and the ball is deep into the corner flag. And Sora will take it on. She'll be wedged against the boards by the number 10, Nirma Ben, who's had an excellent tournament so far. Sora loses out to Ben. Great defending by the Indians as they clear it. And the ball will go back into their own third. And Japan look to keep the ball down in this final third so that they can keep mounting those attacks, Dixie, and hopefully they'll get a break where that ball will roll to them for that decisive chance.
Yeah, they're just keeping the pressure on, and that pressure will build, and India are breaking away and relieving that pressure now down the left-hand side with the number 9. She's doing well, and I think, is that going to run out? Nope, not quite. She's bringing it back.
It was well kept in because it looked like it was going to go for a corner for India, but the Japanese, who've just collided with each other, kept that ball in well, and they'll have a chance to advance through the legs of the opposition. A little bit of a nutmeg as Sora will pick this one up, but will she be able to stop it? No, she doesn't. It rolls through to the keeper, Kanchan Patel, and she'll be able to set up her troops and mount another attack for this Indian team. It's a great ball, and it's all the way deep into the opposing territory as the Meche comes forward. She'll go into the box. She has a chance to turn and try get into that golden area inside. She loses out, and possession is won by Japan as they come over the halfway line. A great run by the number 7 there, and she has a shot on goal, and what a run it was by Takichi Mako.
Yeah, it was a lovely little
skill.
run, well controlled. She had the ball nicely in between her feet and was in total control, and she unleashed a shot, but just wide of the left-hand post.
This game's moving faster, Dixie. We're having a problem commentating on this one. It's going from end to end, and just as we've spoke about that shot, the ball is down the other end, and off we go. And here's the girl of the moment, Sora, as she comes into the box, thwarted once again by, as you say, that blanket defending of India.
Yeah, it's out on the boards again. You do find when players have not played that much, the boards are a bit of a safety net for them. I'll break off.
And that was an important tackle by the Indian number 10 as Sora was bearing down on goal, and it gives the chance for the Indian team to break out. It's with the number 3, Asha Chowdhury, as she's on the right-hand side against the boards. It's defended well by the number 7, Takuchi Mako. Seems like we've been pronouncing her name all day. She's been involved in everything that's been good for this Japanese team, the number 7, Dixie, for Japan.
Yeah, she's having a very influential player. And she sprays it out again, out to the number 10 off the boards.
Sora bounces off the boards but regains control and comes inside. Good defending by India once again. A couple of players go down in their own penalty area, but the ball is once again deep into the Japanese half and towards their own goalie. Chance for Sangeeta Mechich to take it on, but they're just checking.
Referee timeout.
Yeah.
Just taking a timeout.
There's an issue. Some of the referees not quite happy with something. I'm not sure what. And the ref is not doing anything at all. They're coming over for a conflab between each other.
So being a referee, Dixie, we got a little bit of a break in play. Are you constantly watching the referees? You've been a player, you've been a coach, you've been a ref. What excites you more? There's so much going on out here.
Yeah, well, it's the same. I've done all the roles in blind football, I suppose. So, yeah, I have been watching referees quite closely to see the different styles. It is interesting to see the European referees, the way they referee, as opposed to the way the South American referees officiate the game. And yeah, they just want to check the number 10, and they do this on a regular basis. They'll stop the game and say, right, we want to check your patches, and just to make sure that everything's the same.
Yeah, so now we've got a break in play and the refs are going through their final inspections with Sora of Japan, it looks like. Dixie, working with you, I was really enthralled before the game, and I went online to try Google you, and you are the hardest person to Google within the game, because the name Dixie Dean is synonymous with the Everton legend, who, fortunately, you're not that guy, because you know he's passed away, and what a legend he was in the game. But I just could not find you on the internet, so I could not find what you were about. So I suppose, as a positive, if you're not wanting to be found, you could hide very well, Dixie.
Yeah, I do hide very well. I can assure you. No, mine, Dixie is a nickname.
Ah, okay.
Right. So, but virtually everyone who knows me will know me as Dixie. There's very, very few people who actually know my Christian name. My wife calls me by my Christian name, obviously,
okay.
And my parents used to, but that's where it ends. Really.
Will that be released maybe during the final if viewers stay with us? Is that like the bonus thing to look forward to?
If there's money going to change hands, it might.
Well, like my wife did allude to, Dixie Dean, it's a cool name. It's a very, very cool name. It flows off the tongue well, but definitely one of the hardest people to find from Google. So, thanks a lot for that. So we get back to the action, Dixie, and it looks like Kikishima Sora is fine to resume play as she comes back in and stands in the middle of the pitch, ready to go. The ball will be put down. It will be controlled by India. Yeah, on the right-hand side. It's possibly a drop ball, Dixie, am I right?
Yeah, it's going to be a drop ball because it was a referee's timeout. She wasn't happy with... she couldn't see the tape underneath the number 10's mask, and, so they just wanted to check it just to make sure that those patches that are underneath that mask are properly stuck down, and as I say, everyone's playing off the same level playing field.
And it's good that she's back in the game, because she immediately smashes that ball out right and makes a counter-attack for Japan. But now the Indians go deep into the Japan territory again. They cross the halfway line and have a clear route into goal, but it's stopped by Kikishima Soro again. If she picks the ball up, she has a chance to run with it. But it's well defended once again on the halfway line. And there's the number 8, Akshara Rana, as she looks to come forward. It's back over to the feet of Sora. It's still around the halfway line. And a late challenge there, but advantage played by the referee as the ball... Oh no, they're going to bring that back and possibly just check that she's got her blindfold on safely. Like you said, something that the referees have to do quite a lot in the game.
Yeah, we're going to, the ball went over the touchline here, so it'll restart with a goal clearance by the Indian keeper. But the number 10 there, she just bumped into someone and her mask come up. So, if that happens, the referees want to just check that everything's okay. And now we've got a Japanese player down.
There's been a little bit of a collision. That's how the blindfold came off. But, Wakasuga Haruka has just taken a seat. She looks fine. It's just she's taken a seat, a little bit dazed from that collision. And she'll get back to her feet and go off to probably a round of applause by the fans.
Yeah, she'll have to leave the field of play now because the physio's come on. And so the rule, if the physio comes on to have a look at a player, they have to leave the field of play, so they'll have to make a substitution. And the Indians were taking advantage of the situation. They're getting a quick drink, and the referee's not happy about that.
They were, and something we didn't see earlier on in this half was we've had a substitution at goalkeeper for Japan, and Machiko has come on in goal, the number 23 for Japan. So they've changed early. It's not really a big strategy in terms of changing the goalkeeper, but it looks like they changed either at half time or just within to the second half. So there's the change at goalkeeper for Japan. Yeah,
they must have changed it at half time because they certainly haven't done it during the second half. So they don't have to notify anyone of any changes during the break. It's only during the actual game they have to notify the referees.
And onto the field is Shimitana Hana once again for the Japanese team, the diminutive striker, and she partners up with Sora. So added firepower now for this Japanese team. Sora will take the ball down the left-hand side. She's becoming more and more influential as this game has gone on, really getting into the groove as she sprays the ball and it goes back right into our hut. And you've been hit by a lot of footballs this weekend, Dixie, in this little tent that we're commentating in. If you can see us on screen, we're in a white tent right at the end, and constantly footballs have been flying in here, Dixie, testing your reactions, I would think.
I don't mind them flying in at that pace, but yesterday we had 2 or 3 come in. You knocked the television screens off the table. They didn't come here that quick.
It's a clearance that'll go all the way through to the Indian keeper, and just in the nick of time she picks that ball up as Hannah was ready to pounce. It's down the left-hand side. It crosses the halfway line against the boards, and India will mount another attack. We've not seen the ball as much coming towards the Indian goal this half. It looks like, they're starting to really even out this, and I could see penalties happening in this one.
Yeah, I can see it as well. We had the 5th and 6th and 7th and 8th playoff places yesterday in both of those games. In the women's section, both of those games went to a penalty shootout. As I say, the female game at this level is very much in this embryonic stage. It's only been going for a very short period of time, a couple of years or so. So they're still learning and they're getting better. And it's nowhere near as quick and as fast as what the men's football is, but. As I say, they've only been playing a couple of years, so you don't expect it to be. So it is advancing, it's getting better, the players are getting fitter, and it's a bit of a wild shot from the Indian player there, sends it well wide, and we're going to start with a goal clearance.
But speaking of getting better, Dixie, we did say at the beginning of the game, as there's a timeout called, we did say at the beginning of the game that Japan were heavily favourites, and as this game has gone on, getting better has been what India have done, and they've come out just as attack-minded and just as offensive-minded as this Japanese team, and they're sensing that they could get a good shot on goal in these last 7 minutes as they've been able to venture towards that Japanese goal on many occasions.
Yeah, to be fair, as I said at half-time, the Indians have done really, really well to keep this Japanese strike force out, and they're doing extremely well, and they're getting good support. There seems to be quite a few Indian supporters in and around the ground. There's quite a few directly behind us, Jason. I don't know if you can hear them. I call it the cheap seats behind us. And they're getting some incredible support. And we've got 7 minutes to go. It goes to penalties. It's a lottery, isn't it?
It is, and speaking of great support, I mean, I don't know if you had the chance, Dixie, you've been commentating like I've been, but I had the privilege of commentating on the partially sighted men's game yesterday, the England game. And yes, we're the host nation, you know, and England, you know, representing really well. It was a 3-0 victory in that final must-win game, really, for them. But what an atmosphere it was in Wolverhampton.
Yeah, I can quite believe it. Like in an indoor arena, you tend to, the volumes go up a little bit, doesn't it? Because it echoes around, and in a big open arena like this, it's harder to generate that noise. But we've certainly got a group behind us, which is out of view from the cameras, which they're quite raucous, and they're giving good support to this Indian team.
Yeah, and it is welcome at venues like this, and Bournemouth Arena, such a beautiful playing surface, the AstroTurf in pristine condition, you know, and it has been since the opening kick of this tournament, and we back to play with 7 minutes 5 seconds remaining in this second half. It's Japan 0, India 0, as Japan will restart possession from their goalkeeper, and they'll have a chance to mount once again another attack towards the Indian goal.
Yeah, I think this sports pitches and all round this particular area were all refurbed for the Commonwealth Games last year.
All right.
And I think the hockey certainly took place down in this area of the university, and they obviously used the accommodation blocks that are dotted around the university campus.
I mean, in terms of the location, you know, the Midlands has always been a great location to have sporting events in the UK. You know, common sense says that it's the easiest place to get to within the country for everybody. So, you know, it is a great venue, and it's just been put on really well by the University of Birmingham and University of Wolverhampton at Walsall campus. It's just, you know, a really exceptional place to play, and the standards of the competition have been very high, Dixie, so far.
Yes, yeah, I'm quite heavily involved with the partially sighted groups in the UK as well, and yeah, they got some good lads in that England team. Partially sighted, John McDougall, he's a good player. Josh Pugh, yeah, some good lads. Steve Daly's got quite a nice team there, and they've progressed to the semi-final. I can't off the top of my head remember who they're playing in the semi-final, but they're particularly doing well.
The key is they'll avoid Ukraine. So
yeah.
In the semi-final, they will be able to avoid Ukraine. They'll take to the stage on Monday. Both of those semi-finals will happen, but you know, that's the arch nemesis, and the final goal we know is to get through and play that Ukrainian team if they make it in the final on home soil. And I'm sure, you know, the added advantage of being at home may go in England's favour.
Yes, it may well do, but I've seen Ukraine partially sighted team play, and yeah, they're one good team. They are a cracking team, so they'll have their work out in that, but they got to get to the final first.
So the game resumes here in Birmingham, and it's thrown out by the Japanese goalie, and it looks like it will roll all the way for a goalkeeper kicking to the other end without any player touching it.
Yes, bit of a wasted throw from the keeper there, unfortunately. She needs to put an angle on the ball so it hits the boards and stays in, and not just throw it straight like that.
Yeah, beautiful throw-in, and the ball is in the centre circle, and it's with the Japanese team as Hannah is able to collect, and she passes the ball nicely to the left-hand side to Sora. Sora will pick it up, and she'll run down the board. She'll be through on goal, and it's a shooting chance, and that's probably the best chance we've seen, as she went left to right inside of the area. We'll probably catch a replay maybe as she goes in towards goal, but the keeper not sure would have had a chance of that one, and Sora just missed, but that has definitely whet her appetite.
Yeah, it was a great run. She's picked it up sort of probably 20 meters from goal on the left-hand board, and she's going at pace, keeping the ball nice and close to her, and gone across the goal and tried to bring the ball back on herself, and but she just mishit it, and the keeper just watched it sail by, which she's particularly happy about, I would think. And the Indians have gone up to the other end now and bagged themselves a corner. So we've got a substitute for India. Number 5's gone off.
Back into the game is Sangeeta Mecha, who was the lone striker, but she's now adopting a defensive role, really, against those boards. And one of the key ingredients I've noticed in both the partially sighted tournament and the blind tournament is the flexibility of these players. The different positions they can play adds their value to that team.
Oh, for sure. You know, in futsal, generally, you don't have particularly defensive and offensive players. It's very much, you know, intercirculating. You know, you play in any position really. It's not like 11-a-side football and say, right, I'm a left back, right back, centre back, or midfield player. It's interchangeable in futsal, and you have to be adaptable, be able to play in most of the positions. Of course, you might be better at one than the other, but you know, you've got to have the ability to play in them.
The restart will see India waste yet another corner, which won't appease the Indian manager. But it's with the number 8 for Japan as she comes down the left-hand side of the boards. It's back with the number 7.
She's had her pocket picked by the Indians again. They're battling away on the halfway line, and the Indians have still got it. And the clock's still ticking down. We've got just over 5 minutes to go.
But with Sora having that chance, you know, Japan could be lethal, and you know, I can't see anything but either a 1-0 win to Japan or penalties. It's just a question of, can the Indian team hold on, as they've been resolute so far. The ball is around the halfway line, and Sora will try break free. A little bit of a collision. Didn't help her with her run there, but she wins the ball back. Tenacity on display by Kikishima Soro. And now there is a chance if the Japanese can pick this ball up on the left-hand side towards the corner flag. And into the box she goes, and there's a shooting opportunity. And right there was another excellent chance by Takuchi Mako, and Japan are really piling on the pressure, Dixie, now.
Yeah, we've just seen the best 2 chances of the game, and Japanese players picked the ball up on the left-hand board there as we look at it, and it's cut across, gone into the centre of the goal area, and she's not made right good contact with it, but she got some contact on it, but I think she could have done a lot better, and she's hit the ball straight at the goalkeeper, and we got another timeout.
We've just seen the replay there, and the footwork from both of those players before, you know, Kikishima Soro and then Takuchi Mako to just invade that Indian penalty area and get a shot on side, but the skill, you know, left to right, weaving all the way through. That ball was on a string, Dixie, and just these Japanese just seem to be at a different level going forward.
Yeah, they're a good team, and to say, you know, just to at the benefit of the people at home, if you're blind and you're playing football and you're running with the ball, you're dribbling, you can't kick the ball out in front of you. So what you have to do is go left to right, and sort of running with your feet at 45 degrees and sort of tapping it from side to side. It's the only way you can keep it under control. Whereas in sighted football, you know, you were taught to get the ball out from underneath your feet and you chase it. But it's a different technique altogether in blind football. And as I say, you've got to do this tapping thing between your feet. But Japan are starting to open up a little bit now, and they've had 1 or 2 shots on goal, and you know, they've had their sighters, and hopefully we won't get to the general penalties and we'll get a goal in normal time. But we're going to restart with an Indian corner.
Yeah, so for all the plaudits that Japan have had, there will be 4 minutes 33 remaining in this second half, and the Indian team will be deep in Japan territory with a corner on the left-hand side. It'll be a 3-person wall inside the penalty area with 1 lone striker for Japan, Kikishima Sora, at the other end, should they get the breakaway. But for now, it's the chance of India to attack as they have the corner on the left-hand side. Referees just checking blindfolds once again.
Yes,
and when they're ready, we will resume play.
Seems to be taking an awful long time. That's all the time. Right, they're ready. They're happy. She's not quite. No, she's happy. So we start off at a corner to India.
And as this game goes on, Dixie, we've been treated to some beautiful weather. The sun beaming down on this pitch at Bournebrook. These fans are, T-shirts on and just absolutely lovely weather as the game resumes. India will go towards their own goal down the left-hand side, but Japan will already intervene. Good defensive play by the Japanese, and the ball is stuck once again against those boards. It's played out and it's played across field. The ball is in no man's land right now, and as it approaches the halfway line, and who will get to this ball first? As always, it's the Japanese team, and on another mazy run, that ball will come to Sora on the right-hand side. It will go through her legs, but she picks it up. She has the ball at her feet, and lovely drag back by Sora, and a shooting opportunity just drifts wide of the left-hand post, but yet again, another chance for Kikushima Sora, and at some point in these last 3 or 4 minutes, she has to make one of those pay.
Yeah, she done well there. She got stuck on the boards and she did a little drag back, got herself a bit of space, went in towards the goal, bit of an angle, got her shot away, but wasn't as cleanly hit as what she liked, and it just evaded the far post. But Japan, out of the two teams, Japan are definitely looking the more likely to score.
Yeah, the Indians against the ropes, that's for sure, as Japan piling on the pressure. They'll have another chance to play this ball, possibly down the boards on the right-hand side. It's a beautiful ball, and it goes over the halfway line, and it's just past the feet of Kikushima Sora. She now picks it up. I thought she was going to pick it up, and she does. She wins it back. And we rave about how good she is going forward, and she has a chance here. But defensively as well, Dixie, she's put in a good shift today.
Yeah, she's very strong, and she works really hard for her team. But Japan have got it again and coming down the left-hand board this time.
Yeah, it's all one-way traffic. And the ball is once again against the boards on the left-hand side and just coming over the halfway line. It comes in field. Kikushima Sora will have a chance to pick this one up. She just lets it drift by, and it's towards the corner flag on the right-hand side, attacking for Japan. She comes into the golden area as you spoke about. She has the ball at her feet. Good defending once again by this resolute Indian squad. Picked up again by the Japanese team. It doesn't seem to be getting out of the half of India right now, and Japan in full control. And as you heard Dixie there with his refereeing hat on, shouting what, and he thought there should have been a free kick to the Japanese just outside the area and resulting in a goalkeeper kick out. But will the referee bring this one back?
Well, they're not going to. Well, they must be. These two must be watching a different game from me, because the Japanese girl was nearly cutting.
How do you really feel, Dixie? How do you really feel about that one?
She was nearly cutting too. Then they said, "Play on." My word.
I mean, I've been watching and listening to these games prior to this one, and I've heard your commentary, Dixie, and it's just great that you're so enthusiastic about every aspect of this game, and refereeing's not one that escapes that.
No, it's gone out for a corner for Japan, and we're under 2 minutes. Got a substitution for India coming up as well.
Yeah, waiting to enter the game is Asha M. Chowdhury. She will come on, and she's been a goal threat in the first half. It's possibly a chance for the Indians to sneak a winner at the end. The question is, will she have time? Will there be a break in play where she can come on? I'm not sure there will be, with 1 minute 52 remaining, as the Japanese go forward, and another shooting opportunity on the edge of the box on the left-hand side just flies wide, fizzed in by the Japanese attack. Number 7 it was again, Tekuchi Mako.
Yeah, she's coming in off the left-hand board. We're just going to see it again. Coming in off the left-hand board, she's got into a good area, just slightly off target. And that's been the story of this half, really. The Japanese have have attacked well, and but their end product has been pretty poor. I don't know what the Indians are doing here. They brought on a sub and...
Well, Sangeeta Mechia has gone off, the number 9, who has really worked her socks off, and enter the game Asha M. Chowdhury, who's gone down the right-hand side against those boards. They've got 2 players waiting for that counter-attack. Will it come through? No, it's stopped well by the number 14, who's been very oppressive. Wakasuga Haruka, who's been constant all game in stopping the attacks by the India players. It'll go out for a goalkeeper kick-in. We're 1 minute 28 remaining. India's ball.
Yeah, India are not rushing at all. I think the penalties suit them right down to the ground. So every little second that they can eke out, they will. So the bit of action at the moment is Indians are stuck on the left-hand board there, and the Japanese are trying to roll the ball back, and they rolled it back to their colleague.
We're into the final minute as the Japanese get a chance to shoot, and it just rolls out. And how frustrating was that? A great run by the impressive Wakasuga Haruka. She came right into the penalty area.
Yeah, she was
a shooting chance there. Dixie goes begging.
Yeah, she was about 3 meters out, middle of goal, and unfortunately for her, she's taken a big air shot, and it's a great swing of the leg, and she's. When I say, when I'm doing coaching, I say it was a big swing with no ding. So the clock's still going down. We've got 25 seconds to go, and Japan are on the left-hand board, number 10.
And it's Sora going into the box. Oh. Is there a final opportunity? And so many times it's happened that just the final big swing with no ding, you say, Dixie, has happened. And with 6 seconds left, I think that's all she wrote. Let's get ready for penalties.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. It's gone to penalties. And the Indians are celebrating. That's obviously what they thought they could do is take it to penalties. And as everyone knows, penalties is a bit of a lottery, and that was what they were hoping for, and they've achieved that. So credit to them for sticking to the game plan and having the 50-50 chance of progressing.
So just as you guys at home are seeing the highlights on screen with a lot of Japanese attacks, Kikushima Sora, who we thought would be inevitably involved in as much of this game as can be, but we'll just talk you through the penalties. And coming up, India psychologically look like they're in a better place. They look like they've already won this game coming out. Japan, heads have gone down. They couldn't get the job done in regulation time, but take us through how this penalty shootout's going to work, Dixie.
Right. Well, logistically, it'll be three each, and then it'll go to sudden death after that. So the referee will take the 2 captains to the middle of the pitch. The first toss will be to decide which end. We're going to have the penalties, and the second toss is deciding who goes first and who goes second. If the squads are imbalanced, they will be balanced back up in case it goes to sudden death. And we're just... I don't know which way this is going to go, because you can see, if the Japanese girls, if they hit the target, they're going to score, because they can hit it that much harder than the Indian girls, generally. I don't know, but I don't know which way. The penalties, no one can tell you, can they?
However, Kanchan Patel has been a thorn in the side of this Japanese team. There's been nothing that's gone past her. The 3 opportunities in the first half were very well saved by the Indian keeper, and she's on form in this one. So surely that will play a big part going into the final. Will Japan be able to pick their goalkeeper, or will they have to stick to the goalkeeper that was on the field at the end of the game, Dixie?
I think, searching the rule book in the depths of my mind, I think you've got to play with the keeper that was finished the game, unless there's an injury. I'm pretty sure that is what the rule is.
So, in goals, for the women's Japan team will be Terabayashi Machiko. She will be going off against the opposing keeper, Kanchan Patel. And who will be the most victorious and who will be the hero out of these two goalkeepers? That is the question for me. We're just waiting to see at what end these kicks will be taken.
Right, still waiting for the referees to get things organised.
Just as they're getting those things organised, there is another game going on in football today, Dixie. The women's final, and watching the Paralions here play yesterday, we're behind the Lionesses today. Playing against Spain in their first ever final, and what a sight that will be on at 11 o'clock UK time.
Yes, yeah. It's going to be great. They've done marvellous, haven't they? They were a right crack inside. They won the Euros last year, and now they've got the opportunity to win the World Cup. So wish them all the best, and we'll be picking it up after we got another game after this. But hopefully we can be able to watch the second half of the game, and it looks like we've drawn the short straw, and they're going to go up the other end, I think. They've chosen to do it at the top end.
Well, there is one silver lining in that this tent will remain intact, because kicking the ball to the other end on penalties, if they were coming towards us and miss one on the right, that would definitely be your dinner on the floor, Dixie. So I'm not too bothered about that ball going down the other end, to be fair. But the first penalty to be taken will be Japan. And it'll be the number 8, Suzuki Rika, who will take her time. And we're just waiting for the Indian goalkeeper, Kanchan Patel. Maybe a little bit of gamesmanship at this point, making the players wait, a little bit of getting them in that uncomfortable zone. Dixie, would you say that gamesmanship is used at this time in the game?
Oh, anything that gives you a slight advantage, you're going to use it, aren't you? Now we've got the Indian coach he's gone onto the pitch to talk to his goalkeeper. They're just, not bending the rules, but flexing them, shall we say.
So Rika will take the first penalty.
So
we're just waiting for the guy to check the posts.
So the process for this is exactly the same as the free kicks. The referee will ask for silence. She will check the eye mask of the penalty taker. Then she will inform the goalkeeper that she's not allowed off her line at all. She's got to have both feet on the line. Then she'll pass over to the guy behind the goal, who will do his stuff, or her stuff, as the case may be. So I don't know what's happening here.
Yeah, this is obviously going to play into the hands of the Indian goalkeeper, making Suzuki Rika just wait and take her time.
Right. They've leveled up the squads. That's what it was. Yeah, because the Indians haven't got a full squad. The Japanese have had to reduce their squad down to the same size.
Okay.
So if it goes to knockout, knockout penalties, the numbers have got to be the same.
So the guide has just checked the post.
Yep.
We're all quiet and waiting as Rika looks to take this penalty.
Oh, my word, how unlucky is that? It was a good penalty, just a little bit left, too much to the right, and it's hit the post, come back, hit the keeper, and gone out.
Wow.
Yeah, we're watching it again. Yeah, it's hit the post, and the keeper's not got a Scooby-Doo where that's going.
That could have gone anywhere, unfortunately, for Japan. It didn't end up in the net, and is that a sign that this is India's day?
Yeah, well, It could well be the underdog finishing on top. As you can see, the referee's just checking the shades of the player. She'll do that every penalty just to make sure that there's no scug. Now she's going to the goalkeeper. You got to stay on that line.
So taking the first penalty is Akshara Rana, the number 8 for India. She'll face off against Machiko. Machiko ready and waiting on the line. The guy just checking the post and making that noise. Everyone else is quiet as Rana sets that ball.
Interestingly, they've changed the guide. Yeah. Because during the game it was a female guide. The head coach has gone behind the goal now.
This a decisive penalty kick as Rana sets off and she tries to bury that in the left-hand corner, but it's a comfortable save by Machiko, and it remains 0-0.
Yeah, she had a little run up at it. That's a difficult skill, that is, because as we watch about, she had like a two-step run up at it. And, it is quite a difficult skill to do. It's fraught with dangers because if you don't get the timing quite right, you can not hit the ball squarely. And easy save for the keeper down to her right.
So the next penalty taker is the number 14 for the Japanese team, Wakasugi Haruka. She's been absolutely sensational in this one. And she'll set that ball down and the guide will just check the posts for her. So it's Haruka against Patel, who will come out victorious. A key penalty, the second penalty for the Japanese at 0-0. The right-footed Haruka steps up. She'll take a small step back and she'll fire. And what a save by the right hand of Kanchan Patel. And she keeps India's hopes alive. And that one was going right in the top corner, Dixie.
Yeah, that was a good pen. And she's hit it really well. And, fair deuce to the keeper. She sprung up to her right-hand side as we look at it again. She springs up to her right. Good strong hand. And pushes it away.
She goes and smiles at the Indian fans in the crowd, and she's more than happy and really enjoying her performance today. So the next penalty taker for the Indian team will be the number 10, and she walks to the spot. It's Nirma Ben, who's had a great tournament so far. She'll face off against Machiko. Machiko victorious in the last penalty. Will Ben be able to bury this one and give India a massive psychological advantage going into the final two kicks?
Right, the guide's just doing his thing.
So it's Nirma Ben to go against Machiko. Here we go. Small step back. It's a good penalty and a really good penalty, but saved once again by Machiko down to her left side, and the keepers have now made two exceptional good saves.
Yeah, she's quite athletic, the Japanese goalkeeper, and she's got across to that. Here we go. I wonder when when the number 10 from Japan was going to rock up. So she's going to take the last one.
And it's tactically worked to perfection by the Japanese team, as who else would you want taking this penalty rather than Kikushima Soro? She's been very accurate in games, but she's also got that added power, and this is a big test for Kanchan Patel in goals.
Oh, for sure, because if she gets this on target, it's going to fly. So it's down to the keeper. She's going to have a bit of a job on here, I think. She gets good contact on the ball, and if it's heading goalwards, you start to fear for India.
So the guide going round checking the posts, and it's Sora against Patel, who will come out victorious. Within the game, it's been Patel. Is this Sora's chance to really put Japan one step into the final. Here she goes. And she screws that one left.
Oh, my.
And she really will be disappointed with how that one has gone left. And you can see the agony on her face as she walks back to her team. And surely now India have the chance to go through. And probably the worst strike we've seen in Sora's tournament.
Yeah, we're just watching it again. Oh, she's not missed it by... she's missed it by loads. That was woeful. She's got her timing all wrong. That's the problem of stepping back off the ball. You know, you see some of the girls that just take a half a step back, so they're not really moving their planted foot, which is usually their left foot. So they know where the ball is. But she, again, took 1.5 steps back. And she's totally reliant on the muscle memory, remembering where the ball is. You know, if we watch a technique from this Indian player, she's not got her left foot alongside the ball. So, if anything, if the wind moves her or moves the ball a little bit, she's going to miss-hit it. It's a risky thing to do, I'm telling you.
So the number 9 for India, Sangeeta Mecha. Here is your chance to put your team into the final. She goes up against Machiko, the versatile and agile goalkeeper. But Sangeeta Mecha, here is your opportunity to put your team in the final. Here we go. And she's missed the ball, and just as you said, Dixie, she took 2 or 3 steps back, and the contact on the ball was minimal. It was basically a back pass to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, she
just as you said.
She just topped it.
Yeah.
She's just topped the ball. I really can't understand. I can't emphasise enough. The way to take a penalty in blind football is you plant, if you're right-footed, plant the left foot alongside the ball. Then just take the right foot back and toe poke it. If you're taking steps back off the ball, that is fraught with danger. If you make a good contact, you're going to have lots and lots of power.
Yeah.
But there's so many variables in it, and invariably it doesn't happen. And we've seen it 2 or 3 times now in this penalty shootout. Girls have gone back off the ball and just missed the target completely. It's a high-risk strategy in my book.
So a chance for Shimatana Hannah to strike this one into past the Indian goalkeeper. It's Patel against Hannah. Here we go. And straight at the goalkeeper, and although it was good contact and a penalty taken as you said it should be, hit the target, it was an easy one for Patel to save.
Yeah, but you can see the difference.
Yeah,
you can see the difference, Jason, can't you? You know, all right. She's made it easy for the keeper because she's hit it straight at her, but she's got a decent contact on the ball.
Yeah,
and the ball has gone not quite where she wanted to put it, but it's gone towards the goals. Whereas the previous 2 or 3 penalties we've seen, they've taken steps back off the ball, and they've not worked the goalkeeper at all. So
you could argue, Dixie, if they were to employ your strategy, we've had 4 penalties now from the Japanese team. 50% would have gone to one of the sides and possibly gone in.
Yep.
So you could employ that strategy, but no, it's too late for you now, Dixie. You're commentating, not coaching.
I still do a bit of coaching, but I'm getting a bit old now, to be fair.
So the number 4. Deepala Campbell will step to the penalty spot. The whistle has gone. Here we go. And a good strike, but once again, right down the middle and an easy take for Machiko in goals for Japan. And we're still 0-0. Who will break the deadlock? The number 7, Mako Takuchi, will have a chance to step to the penalty spot and really play the hero for Japan.
Yeah, I was commentating yesterday morning with Alex, and we had the penalty shoot, and I sort of reminded him of a story that happened to me. I think it was in 2001 or 2002, in the depths of time. We were playing in a World Cup in Cadiz against Colombia, and we went to a penalty shootout We had 27 penalties before we could split them.
Wow.
It was unbelievable. All in
Wow.
about 40 degrees of heat. It was a nightmare.
Well, this is the 5th penalty that Japan are taking now, so we were way off 27, Dixie, but let's hope we get a breakthrough at some point. As Takuchi Mako will step to the spot. It's a great take, and it's right in the top corner.
Oh, yes,
what
that's the
a
one.
goal from Japan as Takuchi Mako really applies the pressure. And the number 5, Kemal Gaikwad, will step to the spot with the weight of her country on her shoulders. All it takes now is for Machiko to make one more save. But what a penalty it was,
Yeah,
Dixie.
it's great. It's gone to the goalkeeper's left, and it's hit the post and bar in that right top corner and come back across and into the side net. A marvellous penalty. But again, Jason, did you notice she didn't take a step back?
I did, Dixie.
I don't like to say it. There you go,
yeah.
I'm right.
Yeah, I did, and I fully agree with you, Dixie.
Some pressure on this goal now.
So, can India stay alive? Is this the girl? Is Gaikwad the girl to keep them in their tournament? She looked to strike the ball, the whistle has gone, and here's the moment, and it's a good strike, but it's saved, and Japan are through to the final. And they will celebrate, and rightly so. The Japanese team, who have been dominant in the group stages, will venture, and we'll have our first finalists as we see the replay, Dixie. But I mean, take us through this penalty first before we talk about the two teams.
Yeah. She's got a reasonable contact, but she's not hit the ball hard enough. Unfortunate. But, well done, India. They've done really well to get to this stage. And, they've taken this Japanese side right to the wire. 5 penalties each, I think it got to. So they couldn't ask for much. The coach must be happy with them. He couldn't have asked for much more. The effort they put in, and they showed true grit and determination. And on the day, it just wasn't meant to be. And Japan march on to the final. But what's going to be nice now is, and I've noticed with most of the girls' games, they line up together, all together, and they'll all have a group photo. Then I'll have a mixed photo. Then I'll have loads of hugs and kisses, and it's just it's always the same. It's just really, really nice, and that's so good. Doesn't matter win or lose. They're all the best of friends, and the
competitive spirit and the camaraderie of these teams. All the players seem to know each other. All the extended families off court seem to know each other, and it's just a great atmosphere. But going back to these teams, first of all, we must congratulate Japan on an outstanding achievement, getting through to that final round. But the losers for me, India, David did nearly beat Goliath today, and it was so close, and it was down to one kick. And how good have India been as it's their bowing out really game?
Yeah, as I say, they've been excellent really, and as I say, they can go back, get the plane back to India, and they can go back with their heads held high and have a bit of a party tonight, I would imagine. And they still got one more game to play, mind, because they got to play for 3rd or 4th place. But once they got that game out of the way, and if you said to them when they arrived in Birmingham 10 days ago, whatever, you're going to be playing in the placement game for 3rd or 4th, they would have taken that. And so it's all been good.
Okay, so from Bournebrook Arena here in Birmingham, we look forward to seeing you guys for the second semi-final. The moments away, Argentina will be taking on Sweden. But from me and Dixie Dean, it's goodbye for now, and we look forward to seeing you in the next game. Thank you for being with us. Good morning and welcome to everyone joining us from wherever you are in the world right now. My name is Jason Swain and I'm joined as always by ex-England player and now world referee Dixie Dean. Dixie, we'll get to talking about the action, but let's first start with the players coming onto the field and the national anthems.
Welcome to Birmingham and the 2023 IBSA World Games. It's the women's semi-final. Please welcome Argentina and Sweden.
Argentina and Sweden both coming onto the field for this second semi-final matchup. We'll soon be having the national anthems as these players proudly walk onto this beautiful playing surface at Bournebrook Arena at the University of Birmingham. A little bit overcast. We had bright sunshine this morning. This one still a beautiful arena to play in. The weather has contributed so far today. Let's hope it stays the same as both teams walk towards the centre circle. Sweden walking out in their all yellow kit, and Argentina with the navy blue shirts and black shorts. We'll get back to you after the national anthems.
Please rise if you are able for the national anthem of Argentina.
Libertad, libertad, libertad. Hoy el ruido derrota cadenas, del trono a la noble igualdad. Ya su trono vivísimo abrieron las provincias unidas del sur. Y los libres del mundo responden al gran pueblo argentino, salud. Al gran pueblo argentino, salud. Y los libres del mundo responden al gran pueblo argentino, salud. Y los libres del mundo responden al gran pueblo argentino, salud. Sean eternos los laureles que sufrimos conseguir, que sufrimos conseguir. Coronados de gloria arriba, juremos con gloria morir. Oh, juremos con gloria morir. Oh, juremos con gloria morir.
Please remain standing if you are able for the national anthem of Sweden.
Du gamla, du fria, du fjällhöga nord. Du tysta, du jättelika jag hälsar dig värnaste land på jord. Din sol i himmel, dina ängel gröna. Din sol i himmel, dina ängel gröna.
Let's meet our two teams. Introducing Argentina. Goalkeeper number 1, Melissa
So
Flores.
the national anthems observed impeccably by both players and both fans. And Dixie, we're going to start looking at the two teams. We start up with Argentina. The keeper, Melissa Flores, starts in goal. Agustina Medina Perez, number 4. Number 8 is Gracia Soso Barenecci. Number 10, Johanna Iguila. Number 15, Florencia Macenzana. The head coach is Gonzalo Abbas, the guide Santiago Jugo, and the substitutes Segiva Michaela, Constanza Carrizo, Melody Alvarez, Elena Quinteros, and Gule Mina Corrales. What a team we have, steeped in tradition, Argentina.
Yes, they're a fine team, Argentina. Probably the best footballing team in the women's side of these games, and I was particularly impressed when I've seen them in the group games with the two young ladies up front. They're really good, and they've got really good understanding.
So we move on to the Swedish team, and in goal, starting number 1, Moya Berg, number 6, Sofia Bostrom, number 4, Lisa Lai, number 9, Victoria Carlson, number 5, Alice Bernston. Subs, Helena Thew, Anna Nielsen. The head coach is Mark Blake, and the guide, Ellen Ride. All set for this one. So, Dixie, let's start off with a quick recap of the other semi-final for people that weren't tuned in this morning. The winners of this game will face Japan, who narrowly beat India on penalties in the first semi-final this morning, and what a game that was.
Yes, it wasn't the expected game. It certainly wasn't the game I was expecting. I thought Japan would have rolled over India relatively comfortably, but to be fair to India, they put up really strong defensive display in and managed to shut out the free scoring Japanese with, not really too much of a problem, really. It wasn't the keeper making good saves, it was the defence held together, but it went to penalties, and we had sort of drawing blanks. They each taken 4 penalties, and we were still level, and the Japanese girl come up and she struck an absolute beauty into the top corner, and that was enough to seal their victory and on to the final to play against one of these two teams here.
And what an exciting game this one will be. But we've not only the women's competition to look forward to, we have another few games, as you just saw on screen, in the men's competition. But for Argentina in this one, both teams played very well in the group stages, which started on Monday, and the Argentines finishing top of Group A with 2 wins and a draw, and Sweden hanging on and gaining second place, going through on goal difference. Who would you say is the favourites? Not reminding you, Dixie, you probably got that one wrong last game, but putting extra pressure on you. Who would you say is the favourites this game?
Well, I'm going to correct you there because I didn't get it wrong.
No,
I said
didn't.
Japan would win.
No.
I didn't say how. For me here, there's only one winner, and that's going to be Argentina. It's just the way they go about their business and the way they play their football. I've said it earlier part of the week, they play exactly the same as the Argentine men's team, and that is by passing the ball from side to side, creating space, creating openings. When they pass it side to side 2 or 3 times, then they go at pace at the goal when they've created a gap in the defence. So Sweden here, if they want to stay in the game, they're going to have to do exactly what the Indians did and defend for their lives and get to half-time, keep it to 0-0, then just build on that into the second half. But if Argentina get a goal, that's it. I'm going to worry for the Swedish team.
And speaking of goals for Argentina, the combination of number 10, Johanna Aguila, and number 8, Gracia Soso Barenche, led the way with 3 goals each. They have been potent for this Argentine team, and like Messi and Maradona in years gone by, they will be up for this one.
Yeah, for sure. Those are the 2 young ladies I was talking about. They play up front, and they seem to have got a telepathic connection between the pair of them. They seem to know where each other are without having to call or anything, and they'll be switching the ball between them on a regular basis. It's a statement of how they play, really, and that which is different from all the other ladies' teams that are here. But I am generally told that this Argentine side have been together for around about 6 years. So they're well versed in blind football, and it does show.
And it's the Argentines that will be kicking from right to left, as I've said, in the navy blue tops and the black shorts, against Sweden in the all yellow. The keeper in the pink jersey, both keepers in the pink jerseys, to distinguish them from the outfield players. We're seconds away from kickoff, and here we go. 15 minutes on the clock, and let's play out this first half as the ball goes down the right side. It goes down to Gracia Barenche. She'll cross the ball and it will go out for a goal kick. And pardon, it's Baron Esche spelt. Ball goes down the left-hand side. Sweden will mount an early attack. It's into the Argentine half, but they pick up possession as well. Baron Esche in the thick of things. Sprays the ball across to Aguila. They're the two that we highlighted earlier on in the broadcast. It goes back to Baron Esche, and they've definitely got a good understanding, Dixie, early on, as Baron Esche gets a chance to possibly shoot. Had a notion, but turns it down. She'll go across the field, and she'll play the ball back into Aguila, who'll reverse it, and what beautiful skill. Already we've seen the abilities it goes across, and those two players that we highlighted earlier have linked up strongly, and no one else has touched the ball, I don't think.
No, it was as much as I thought, really. That's the way they play, and it's easy on the eye, to be fair, and it's very productive because it just creates space and panic in the defence. Obviously the Swedes will be able to hear the ball swishing from side to side, and they can't get close to it. And there they go again and past it. Great ball into feet.
Bernston had a chance on that opposite side, and she just loses out, and it's back with Aguila as she goes down the side, but it's given away, and it will be a Sweden ball as the goalkeeper for Sweden, Moa Berg, will have a chance to set something up. She'll throw the ball out. It just bounces inside the half. It has to bounce before it crosses the halfway line. It does so, but it rolls all the way through, and the opposing keeper, Melissa Flores, will have a chance to start another counter-attack, and it's against the boards, and once again it's at the feet of the number 8, Baron Esche. She comes inside, just outside the opposing penalty area. She offloads to Aguila, something that we'll probably be saying for the majority of this game. Aguila comes back inside the centre circle. She goes past one defender. She stops, and she's going into the penalty area and has a shot, and that one fizzed wide of the upright. So close to the opening goal, Dixie.
Yes, it's a great bit of play by her. She's gone from this left-hand ball right the way across, and a little mazy run, but she's just overpulled the shot a little bit, and it's evaded the far post. But great bit of play, and as we said before the start of the game, it's going to be those two players. They're a different class from anything else here.
Yeah, but the throw-in looks like it's going to go all the way out to the other keeper, and it does. And a wasted opportunity of a good counter-attack by the Argentinians there. It will resume with Moa Berg, who will be able to hopefully do a little bit better for the Swedes as she rolls the ball out. It's well controlled in the opposing half by Berntson, who has been the target player. And off we go again, and it's a familiar recipe. We've seen this movie before. She goes all the way into the box, and unlucky. The strike from Bareneshe was on point, but saved by the goalie. What a run.
Yeah, she took it just a little bit too far that time, and a little bit too close to the keeper. And the keeper's nice and brave, and she's got down and smothered that shot. And, she needs to shoot a little bit quicker than that, really.
Here's Aguila. She'll pick it up on the left-hand side into the final third against these Swedes as she crosses that dotted line, and she fires, and another good shot and a great start by the Argentines.
I must admit, it's going to plan for the Argentinians at the moment.
It is, and will this ball go out? Yes, it will, just, and it's a corner ball for a little bit of breathing room, a chance to stop the bleeding, should I say, for the Swedes.
Yes, they could do with a bit of a breather, and they've got a fortuitous corner, but a corner all the same, and enable them to get up the pitch a little bit and get a break from the defensive duties that they've been employing for the first 4 minutes of this game.
Bergstrom will once again take over. It comes to nothing as it rebounds off the number 9, Victoria Carlson, and it'll go out for a throw-in by the Argentines. Now, did that ball cross the halfway line before it bounced? I think it did. The referees were right on the spot, and we'll start off with a free kick for the Swedes.
Yeah, it's so annoying, that is. Yeah, there's no need for the keepers to be doing that. We saw it numerous times yesterday in the men's side of the draw.
It just really gives possession back to the other team, and possession's so valuable in this game.
Yeah, it's just frustrating. You just think, oh, God, you can see where the line is, you know. Hey, yo.
Well picked up by the number 4, Medina Pez. She'll pass the ball once again to the diminutive playmaker and a wizard. A diminutive playmaker, and a wizard with the ball.
That is such a good run, isn't it?
But Eneshe, she's going to be an absolute handful for this team.
Yeah, she runs at such pace and she keeps the ball really tight to her feet, and yeah, they're going to have to do well to keep her out for the 30 minutes we got in front of us.
So if you were picking a striker by seeing these teams play already, would you go with the number 10 for Japan? Would you go with Sora, or would you go with the number 8 who we've got on display, Baroneshe? Two different types of player. What do you think?
Me, personally?
Yeah.
I would have these two Argentinians all day long.
Yeah.
The two up front for these two, for me, they're just head and shoulders above anything else that I've seen here this week in the female section.
Yeah, one of them who has the ball, Aguila, comes inside. She has a chance to shoot, elects not to. The chance is still there, and she fires one in, and I think that one hit the woodwork.
Yeah.
It was a good save by Moa Berg as she retains possession.
Yeah, it's a great shot in, and the Swedish keeper's done really, really well, and it's bounced off her and onto the post, and she's claimed it back off the post, so she's done really, really well there. She got down quickly. Great shot and a great run by the Argentines again.
And Sweden have a chance to break. A little bit of breathing room once again as they come into that little dotted line, but the ball will go out for a goalkeeper's kicking. Goalkeeper possession, sorry. But going back to Sweden, they've been one of the more stingier teams in terms of giving away goals in this tournament. But right now, is it how good these Argentines are? It just looks so open for me in this game.
You're spot on, right. It is. They have been mean defensively. The big tall girl who plays for Sweden, I can't see she's blonde hair. Well, they've all got blonde hair. Yeah, Victoria Carlson. In previous games, she's been the player that breaks things up, and she's been particularly good. So, and the keeper's half decent as well. So with those two, they've been stingy at the back. As we just look at some replays, and I'm afraid all the replays are going to be the two young girls from Argentina, I expect. That one there, she's just, as you can see, she's just got a little bit too close, made it easy for the keeper. She should have taken a shot about a metre before that, and she would have probably scored. But there's another shot there. Is it, keeper hit the post, keeper again.
But I think we've just had the first 5 minutes of this game, and the tone has been set. Moa Berg in goals for Sweden has been the busiest player in terms of making saves and keeping their team in it. But it just looks so open, and it's a recipe for disaster. And maybe that's why the timeout was just called, to look at some team tactics.
Yeah.
Try to get a hold of this game.
Yeah, maybe, and also to give the Swedes a bit of a rest. I'll tell you, the Argentine keeper, if I was female and the age of what I am, and I'm hobbling around on a stick at the moment, I could play in goal for them, because she doesn't have to touch the ball. They're so good. Defensively, they're really, really strong, and they've got these two young ladies up front who are just brilliant. Yeah,
play resumes with the Sweden goalkeeper throwing the ball out. It is in the Japan half, but it looks like they'll retain possession, and they surely do, with Baroneshe bringing it across. Once again, I sound like a broken record. It goes to Aguila, and she ventures into the penalty area. She has a strike, and It's just a question, I think, now of how long is it going to be before they break the seal on this one.
Yeah, if they keep playing like this, it's just a matter of time. Sweden have got to get in and around these two young ladies up front. If they don't get tight to them and get a hand on them, they are going to get annihilated, yeah.
And good defensive work at the Argentine end by Messenzana, who clears the danger. And she'll pour more agony onto this Sweden team. But it's won back by Carlson. Good defending by the big central defender. And once again, that wizard on the ball, number 8, Baron Esche, casts her spell going forward. She goes right. She goes past the Swedish defence. She has a chance to shoot. She's in on goal. And 1-0. And it was just a matter of time. And Baron Esche went from her own half. Mazy run into the penalty area on the right-hand side. What a finish, Dixie.
What a goal that was, all round. She's picked the ball up in her own half, and she's beaten 2 Swedish players into the penalty area. She's hit it about sort of 3 or 4 metres away from the goal, and she's found the far corner. She's just class, and you know, put your hand up and say, yeah, that's quality. She's a proper player, a real proper player. There
was no stopping her, and Argentina go 1-0 up. And if you're watching Lionel Messi, watch and learn. What a run by the Mazy Baroneschi there.
Yeah, some of the men's team, she wouldn't go amiss in Europe, to be honest.
A corner is given. The question was that ball over? Looked like it was from where we were sat, but we had a much closer view, and I'm sure if there are any refereeing decisions that are not right, Dixie, you'll immediately pick up on it.
Well, I try. There is a referees union, so I'm not going to be too critical on them unless they.
You might not be in it anymore after this tournament,
unless they make a glaring error.
No, I think all things being considered, the referees have been impeccable in this tournament.
They've had a really good tournament, the referees. Generally, we've had 1 or 2 decisions, and
what a run! This could go all the way again, and what a run! Sorry to interrupt you, but Medina Pez just took that ball from basically her own goal line all the way through, and even the defenders are getting involved now.
Yeah, they're well on top, the Argentine.
Ball is back with the Argentine goalie. Melissa Flores will throw that ball out, this time legally, and it goes to the goal scorer, Baron Esche, and she is absolutely loving her day. It goes to Aguila on the left side. They're having Aguila on the left-hand side and Baron Esche on the right-hand side. It goes back to Baron Esche. A little bit of give and go between those two as she ghosts inside the box. She's in on goal again. This time, Moa Berg will spoil the party for Sweden and pick that one up. The ball bounces just inside, but Aguila's so alert. I don't think I've seen a player as alert as Aguila. I mean, the goal scorer, Baron Esche, great with the ball at her feet. But Aguila, every time that ball bounces, she's right there, Dixie.
Yeah, she's very quick to react to everything that's going on around her. And I say, these two young girls, they just look for each other all the time. We notice it then, you know, they've switched sides, but it doesn't make any difference. They still look for each other from... Oh, she's just watched another one behind, honestly. They're unreal.
Yeah, and they've just switched sides. Like, you know, you see some of the Premier League fullbacks doing that at times, and they've just switched sides and nothing lost. As the number 4 for Argentina picks it up in her own third. She has time to turn under very little pressure as she will set off on a run. And what a beautiful ball. These Argentines are playing some absolutely great football. It's going across there. Aguila will pick that one up. She doesn't take long to pounce on it.
Yeah,
she's against the boards, and she'll look to probably come inside. Size difference, no doubt, between the much stronger Carlson. But my money is on the diminutive Aguila with the skill that she possesses. Here's Baroneschi again as she skips past and fires it back across. Must be an absolute nightmare to defend for this Swedish team. The ball is going from side to side and it's controlled outstandingly as Baroneschi goes in, and another shooting chance.
Yeah, you know, I was talking about them before and I said they'll switch it from side to side, side to side. Then all of a sudden they go bang.
Yeah.
And they go at pace. Now, I think that's what kills teams, is the pace that they can come at you and they just can't keep up with it. We've got a timeout going on now, so we've got a minute.
But looking at the highlights, and we're going to see it's one-way traffic, as there we see the early warning signs as the ball hit the post. A good save from Moa Berg, and she's definitely going to have to have a near perfect game to keep this team in it. And another warning sign from Aguila, ghosting into the box, and sooner or later we're going to see the goal that finished in the bottom corner, and here it is. Baroneshe casting a spell, puts that ball right into the bottom corner. But you just going back, Dixie, to the ball moving from side to side, and in this blind competition, the ball moving all the time is a constant threat against the defence. And then as when they're ready to attack, they do it at speed. It must be a nightmare to defend.
Yeah, you to defend against it, you've got to be really well organised, and you have to concentrate and not get drawn into the fact that the ball's rolling, going across you all the time. And it means what your defence has got to do as a unit, you've got to keep shuffling across, going left, shuffling across to the right, and keeping it like a metronome going with the ball, and just keeping in line with it all the time. And it's a difficult skill to do, and some of these teams, they're not at a level yet to be able to do that. And so hence, they keep the Argentine girls will keep doing that till they create a yard of space. Then it's hit the afterburners and in they go, and they're very decisive about it.
So the score is Argentina 1, Sweden 0. We have just under 6 minutes remaining in this first half. The beautiful sunshine has come out again in this Bournebrook arena. Quite a few fans watching the game, probably some of the men's players turning up for their next game. And we do have a break, Dixie, after this one, and a chance to see the Lionesses take on Spain for England in the World Cup final.
They kick off in 13 minutes.
Sweden will break out. They'll take the ball across the halfway line, and they have a clear lane to the goal, but it's thwarted once again. But it's a corner ball, as the keeper was just unable to pick that ball up. It was outside the small box that she's allowed to play in. Really looks like the only chance that Sweden are going to have is from a set piece, whether they can get a free kick on the edge of the box or can they prosper from a well-worked routine corner.
Yeah, as I say, it was much the same for the Indian girls, wasn't it, really? They were sort of relying on breaks and corners and set pieces. But as I say, if the Swedes can keep it to 1-0 and we go into the break at 1-0, they're still in the game. They just need a little bit of luck early doors second half, and there's another shot fired in across the face of goal.
They also need that girl to stop coming at them relentlessly, and there's no give, there's no compassion really from Aguila and Baroneshe. They just keep piling on that pain to these Swedes, and a tough time.
Yes, I expect the Swedish coaches, that's a foul. No, perhaps not. The Swedes coach is probably wishing that his counterpart down the other end would take him off and give him a rest. But
not only do they have the finesse, the Argentines, they also have the strength of Lisa Lai, who just won an amazing battle in that corner and shrugged off her opponent. Sorry, not Lisa Lai. Medina Paez, who just won that great battle in the corner. Yeah, started another attack, and here's Aguila coming right down the middle. She'll turn and shoot, well stopped by the Sweden team. It'll ricochet, unfortunately, to Baroneshe on that right-hand side. Sorry, Dixie, you were saying.
There she goes. They can mix it up, Argentina. They've got these two young ladies up front who are absolutely brilliant, but the girls at the back are not frightened to put their foot in either. So they've got a nice balance in their side with aggression and a bit of skill. So they can do most things, to be fair, and they work really hard together. You can see the captain there is backing her own third, helping out, and off she goes again.
Yeah, and what a captain she is. She's just single-handedly taking the fight. A little bit of a nutmeg through the Swedish defence, and she's in on goal again, and she shoots, and a doubled shot there, and she's just so alert. Looks like the only player on the field who's playing
And she's back
in
there.
fifth gear. Everyone else looks like they're in second.
Yeah. And she was back there helping her defence. You know, the keeper, Swedish keeper is doing well, really, to be fair. You know, got to give her credit. You know, she's keeping her team in it, and you know, the Swedes need to step up a little bit. They are going to be on the end of a right nasty scoreline here if they're not careful.
Yeah, Lisa Lyoncourt in defence have a lot of work to be done. The communication has to be off the charts in this one against these two playmakers, and one of them has the ball. Aguila going just inside the final third. She's attacking down right centre in the middle of the field, and what skill as she just loses out. But unfortunately, once again, a recipe for disaster as it turns over to Baronesche. She'll cut inside and she'll dive through the almost invisible defence. Will she knock it left here? Is she aware of where Aguila is? She is. And Aguila will take over, and a great shot. And once again, the palms are stung of Moa Berg.
Yeah, it was great play by the two of them again, and another good stop by the Swedish keeper. And yeah, she's going to know that she's been in the game tonight. There's going to be some bumps and bruises on her.
So if you're watching on the screen, or in fact if you're listening as well, we're at the far end of the field in a white tent. We could do with picking this tent up and going to the other end, because it's all one-way traffic and all the action is going towards the Sweden goal right now. And right away, far away from us, all we can see is shot after shot.
We'll be at the right end next half. We get it right 50% of the time.
Yeah. I think you get it right 50% of the time, and I get it wrong the other 50%. So it does balance out, Dixie.
If only I could get it right 50% of the time. Yeah, it's the two young ladies again. It's twisting and turning. Edge of the box.
To shoot.
Oh, it's another good save by the keeper, and he's gone over a corner. It's just relentless, isn't it? Just pressure after pressure after pressure.
It is, and being a commentator on this sport, there is a lot of things to consider in terms of explaining what is happening, you know, all the different things that are going on within the game. But I feel like these Argentina two forwards are just turning me into a fan right now. I'm loving this game.
Yeah, I did say to you before we started this, you know, how good they were and how different it is from anything else that we've seen.
And there's once again switch possession.
And they just...
And Aguila's gone to the right-hand side, and Baronesche has gone to the left. They'll switch back again.
But, as I say, the Swedes are doing all right. It's we've got less than 2 minutes to go, and 1-0 scoreline. When you consider the pressure that they've been under, their attack after attack after attack, Sweden have done all right. They're still in the game.
The ball will be crossed, and Aguila will pick it up. She'll try dance round the defence. It'll come all the way through once again to Moa Berg, and she'll have the chance to offload. Now this is promising for Sweden. If the number 7 can turn, and she did a good job there. Unlucky for Helena Thelin, who tried to turn her opposition and just get inside the box. Maybe that's a glimmer of hope for the Swedes to get a little chink in the armour, if any, of these Argentines.
Yeah, and here we go again, side to side.
Aguila picks it up on the left, two-footed. She can go back past the defender, both on the left side and the right side. She chooses the left. She's into the box. It will roll through all the way to the keeper. And who will pounce here? The ball just stood still, and time stood still as it was on right the edge of the goalkeeper's square. She couldn't pick it up. And the first to react once again is Baronesche. She takes a strike, but she's all over this one.
So we've got just over 30 seconds to go. And Sweden are going to make a substitution. You can ask yourself why, haven't you?
Yeah, number 7, who's not been on the field that long, Helena Thelin, is going to take a well-deserved break. As definitely a change in strategy, or is it like for like coming on? Let's see where the substitution is placed. And yes, it's like for like. She'll move into the centre forward position, and we see the first action. The number 8, Anna Nielsen. She's immediately into the thick of the action. She goes up against Baroneschi. Baroneschi takes the ball deep inside her own half. There's a foul by Nielsen, and you'll be pleased to know that the whistle was blown, Dixie.
Yes, there was a foul there, and it's a free kick to the Argentines.
So with 20 seconds left, the Argentines have a chance to have one final onslaught at this Swedish goal. It's been one-way traffic so far. Can the Swedes hold on for the final 20 seconds to go in at a respectable 1-0 down?
Been a boxing match, they would have stopped it.
They would. Baroneschi has been the one throwing the punches as well. She's on the ball right now. She goes inside the box. Advantage played. She'll get inside the penalty area, and for once the contact was poor by her standards, and that's the last chance of the first half. But what a first half it's been, Dixie.
Yeah, and what a marvellous bit of skill there. She got buffeted around, she hit the floor, got back up, and still managed to get, well, it was a poor shot, but she managed to get something on the ball. Yeah, she is quality.
We're just going through the highlights of the first half. We'll give you a quick recap of the tail of the tape. We can't see them on the screen right now, but you know you're going to be seeing those at home.
But I imagine
and
they'll all be up the other end. They won't be down here.
And as you've probably gathered by listening or watching this broadcast, is that it's been all one-way traffic. Argentina have been in the driving seat since the word go.
Yeah,
the seal was broken within the first 6 or 7 minutes by Baroneschi, and it was only a matter of time. And if the good news, like you say, Dixie, is for anything, is that Sweden are only down 1-0, and all it takes is a break of concentration by the Argentines, and then Sweden have levelled this one up.
Yeah, and you never know what's going to happen then. Like if Argentina do concede a goal, their confidence might drop, and these ball-playing Argentinians might not be so robust then and so confident in their ability. But at the moment, the two young ladies up front are just, as I say, they're just head and shoulders above anything else this year in the female section, and are just totally bossing this game.
You're absolutely right, Dixie. And for now, we'll take a short break. It's half-time here at the Bournebrook Stadium in Birmingham. There's 1-0 to the Argentines against Sweden. We look forward to getting back to you after the break.
It's fast, technical and tense. This is your guide to five-a-side football. There are 5 players per team, 4 outfield players and a goalkeeper. The aim of the sport is to score a goal by kicking the ball into your opponent's goal, and at the end of the game, whoever scored the most wins. Players must wear eye shades to ensure that all players have the same level of vision. That is apart from the goalkeepers, who aren't required to wear eye shades and can be fully sighted. Their job is to keep the ball from going in the goal behind them. But how do the players on the field know where the ball, or indeed the goal, is? Well, the ball in blind football is specially designed to make sound whenever it moves. Also, each team has a guide behind the opposition goal to help direct them. Each player is required to shout "Voy" when going for the ball. This ensures every player has the cues they need to help build a picture of what's going on and what to do next in defence or attack. To help this, total silence is required from the crowd until a goal goes in. Voy is Spanish for go, and it was the Spanish who were credited with originally developing blind football in the 1920s. As well as the Paralympics, teams from all corners of the world can compete at World, European, Asian, African and America's Championships, as well as a World Grand Prix.
Blind football can be played by both men and women, with the historic first Women's World Championships coming up in 2023.
So what are you waiting for? Give it a try.
IBSA, International Blind Sports Federation, presents, with the support of the International Paralympic Committee, IBSA Anti-Doping App, the first application of its kind in the Paralympic movement, specifically designed for blind and visually impaired people. Athletes, coaches, medical staff, managers, and the public in general now have a powerful tool to stay focused on the principles of clean sport. Scrolling down the main menu, you can find all the important themes you need to know to play fair and be alert to testing procedures and necessary adaptations for athletes with visual impairments. IBSA gives top priority to anti-doping control, being the only international federation with 3 sports in the Paralympic family: goalball, football, and judo. IBSA anti-doping app has external links, namely to WADA, where our sport agents can always find the most updated information, especially the list of prohibited substances and methods. Glory in sport can only be achieved by the athlete's awareness of their rights and responsibilities. You can find them on the IBSA anti-doping app. IBSA is continuously promoting anti-doping education to all its affiliate athletes and sport agents, not only about the consequences of the use of doping and the risk of using supplements. IBSA believes that education is the major tool to fight doping in sport. Informed athletes can make better decisions. Download the app now at the usual operating system stores.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have seen history being made today.
Such a great team at these championships.
IBSA. Beyond sight. Feel the sport.
Welcome back, everybody, for a real chance to rest during that half-time break. And we've got the second semi-final of the day. These teams with 15 minutes on the clock are playing for a chance to play Japan in the final. The score right here in Bournebrook is Argentina 1, Sweden 0. And Argentina all over that first half. It was all one-way traffic. In this second half, they will play left to right in the blue shirts and black shorts. Sweden, defending, will play right to left in the all-yellow kit. Poised for a great second half, Dixie.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to change much. I think the Argentine has still got the two young girls on up front, and I think we'll see a similar pattern as what we saw in the first half. But the longer it stays with just the one goal, that's going to be a corner. Longer it stays 1-0, the more chances that Sweden will think they've got in this game, and they get a lucky breakaway and bag themselves a goal and perhaps take the Argentinian team to penalties, just the same as the previous game.
So early in this first minute of the second half, the two diminutive playmakers are taking a corner for the Argentines. And standing over the ball is Baroneschi and Aguila as they'll look to plot another counter-attack, and the plot thickens as Aguila comes into that golden area, as you say. She comes back right with plenty of space to play. Beautiful skill. And she's held up by Lisa Lai. Good job defensively by the Swedish defender, who's definitely got her hands full. The ball will be at the feet of Baroneschi, who has a shot and tests the palms of Moerberg, but a tame one, considering for the Swedish goalkeeper there, an easy one, Dixie.
Yeah. By her standards, it was a tame one. I think anyone else would be quite pleased with that shot. But by her standards, it was a tame one. But as I say, the pattern has started exactly the same. They will keep passing it round and draw the defence out. And it's really good to. The way I would sort of categorise it, for people at home, it's like a Man City on steroids. It's pass. And
so there was nothing that implied you were going to say anything of the sort, Dixie. So I love that analogy. But we're back to the action here, and against the post, Aguila once again rattles the woodwork, and
it's a corner.
It did look like it was a corner. Came off the Swedish defence.
Definitely a corner.
But if we can get a replay on that, which we're going to have, what a run from the number 10. And the number 10 of Argentina, so synonymous with ball players, Maradona, Messi. And now, for the women's blind team, it's Johanna Aguila. What a star she is. Oh, it's given a goal kick.
No, you are joking me.
Well, Dixie, I know it wouldn't be long before you got in on those decisions, but yeah, I'm not joking. It is a goal kick, and it goes into the Argentinian half. Defensively, they'll bring the ball out, and not much pressure from this Swedish team, as I don't know if there's any different strategies that could be applied by this team. They just got to deal with what's coming, and what's coming once again is Baroneschi, and a little bit of a clash there. The referee just double checks everyone is okay, and they are, and the ball will go into the Argentine half, but Baroneschi will pick it up, and once again she will weave her magic going into the opposing box. That's probably a bad ball from her at the halfway line, but it looks like she's struggling.
Yeah, she's had a knock in the face, I think.
Yeah, looks like she is struggling. Great control by Aguila as she squats down and takes that one on her thigh, and she dives into the penalty. She's in on goal. She strikes it, and it's 2-0. And what a solo effort coming in on the left-hand side, going into the right of the box, and the Argentinian fans absolutely love that goal. What a goal.
Yeah, that's absolutely tremendous. She's weaved, missed, gone round 2 or 3 Swedish defenders. She's just left them like statues there, and she seems to have great awareness of when to switch the ball to the left and the right. She weaved her way into the edge of the box and unleashed an unstoppable shot, and we got the men's Argentine side in the stands, and the Swedish coach has just been booked.
Yeah, and adding insult to injury. Swedish coach picking up a booking, but
don't know what for.
Just out of shot. You saw Johanna Aguila overcome with emotion, run over to her coach and get a big hug for her contribution. But she must have practiced that. You say this team has been together, this team have been preparing. She must have practiced that around cones, all the dribbling exercises, countless times, and just comes to fruition in a great solo effort.
It's just so natural to them. When they're doing it, they just look so comfortable, and they never look like they're going to lose the ball, lose control of it. They've got a really good close control. They keep the ball in between their feet, tapping it as they go, and they can do it at pace. And the pair of them, they're just different qualities from everything else. Yeah.
So would you now, as a manager, be thinking at 2-0 and firmly in the driving seat with 12 minutes remaining in this game, would you be thinking, maybe I'll give my two superstars a rest, or would you continue to play them? Would an extra goal just kind of stick a fork in the Swedes and say they're done?
I think if I was the coach, I would be thinking about getting them off.
It comes through once again to Aguila. She's on the left-hand side of the Swedish penalty area. She'll come back inside, switch play, and it's a great ball across. Unfortunately, it will go out, but a good run down the right-hand side once again by Baroneshi. A timeout called.
For Argent, it's a timeout for Sweden. I think I would. I'll be wrapping them up in cotton wool, saying, right, you've done your job, and let's keep you nice and fresh and fit for the final, which is. I've lost track of the days now. Is it Monday?
Yeah.
Or Tuesday? I don't know which day it is. Doesn't matter. But I'd be taking them off. I think. I don't know what the coach or if it was the physio. It was definitely one of the Swedish coaching staff got booked, and I'm not sure what he did or he or she did. But it was definitely a yellow card aimed in their direction.
So speaking of the disciplinary record, it is important in these tournaments, only playing 2 or 3 games. We were faced with the conundrum yesterday in the partially sighted tournament that if England would have drawn 1 each in their last game, they would have finished exactly the same points, exactly the same goals, exactly the same goals for as the Spanish team. So who would have got first or second? Then it went down to the disciplinary record. You're not going to believe this, Dixie. That was also the same on points.
Right. So where were they going?
So fortunately, we didn't have to approach that because England won 3-0. Yeah. But if we'd have been faced with that situation, who knows? I mean,
toss of the coin.
When is the last time that would have happened?
Yeah, I don't know. I would imagine if it gets that far down the line, it's going to be. And if the result of the two of their fixture against each other is the same as well.
Surely you can't toss a coin to see who goes through into the final. That would be particularly unfair.
You haven't got time for a replay, though, have you? You know, in these tournaments, the structure is so rigid that you can't squeeze an extra game in. So
I think I have an answer. I think it would go on world rankings.
Do you think?
Yeah, but I mean, if you're watching this broadcast, or if you're a referee and you're on the live chat, please intervene and let us know. But I think that's what it would have come down to by speaking to the referees at the tournament yesterday. But back to the action here. We have 11 minutes remaining, and Sweden really have to go from second gear into fifth as they pick the ball up inside their own half. It flies past the head of the tall Victoria Karlsson, who's not been as involved as she was in the first half, but she'll have a chance to maybe pick this ball up. She doesn't retain it. Brought out of defence once again by Medina Paez, who's quietly putting herself together a great game.
Yeah, she's doing a good job at the back there. She's like the pivot at the back. Oh, you're another amazing.
Here's Baroneshi, what a run! And if there isn't a blade of grass she's covered today, she went right into the box and had another shot, and her fingerprints are all over this game. Yeah,
she's absolutely superb, isn't she? I could watch her all day. I really could. She's so good, and she's just tripped over the ball there, and who is it on? Who gets back up and wins it again? It's her again. She's absolutely different quality. Enthusiasm for the game as well. She absolutely loves it. You can see she just loves football.
She does, and both her and Aguila have just played in tandem, and they've turned me into an absolute fan. So let me know where the line is for the photos at the end, because these players have been a joy
here we
to
go.
watch.
She's gone into the box. She hasn't got her left foot. We found a weakness. She hasn't got her left foot. Because that had goal written all over it. If she'd have swung the left boot at it, she would have scored, but she went with the right.
Yeah.
And
not that you're being critical, though,
no,
Dixie.
but she has got a weakness.
Yeah. She'll pick this one up going down the right-hand side of the boards, and it's all Baronese, Aguila, and Argentina right now. It's over to Aguila on the left side. It will bounce off the boards, which will give her a chance to locate that ball. It's deep into the Swedish right-hand side corner. Sweden unable to clear their lines, and the ball is across to Baronese. It's against the right-hand side board. It's in the final third. She'll go across, just lose her footing, but it comes across to Aguila. It's picked up nicely by the diminutive number 10. She'll come inside again, possibly go back to Baronese, but she has a shot, and out of the blue, nearly threaded the needle into that top corner. That could have easily gone in, Dixie.
Yeah, she just pulled the trigger. Hardly any backlift, and she was about 8 metres out, and she's pulled the trigger, and it just flew past the post. Been on target. I'm not sure the keeper would have got there, that's for sure. So here we go again.
And a beautiful ball. I mean, the side-to-side possession of these two Argentines have been absolutely perfect. It's like they're just in sync all of the time. In comes Aguila, and in the first half it was mostly Baronese. It's been Aguila who's really taking it on, and a great shot and an equally good save by Moerberg. What a save, and palm to safety as well, more importantly. Baronese will coast inside again. Gosh, I don't remember the Swedish team being out of their first half.
No.
Sorry, being out of their half.
No,
in this second period.
If they manage to stop one of them, it's the other one that comes on to them. And they could probably cope with one, but the two, it's just relentless. It's time after time after time is coming. And she's coming down again, you know. She's perfectly weighted. She's really good balance, low centre of gravity, and quite strong in her upper body. Here we go.
Chips it across, and she was anticipating the run.
There we are.
This is how well these two are playing together. Baronese anticipating the run of Aguila, chip that ball into the penalty area. Aguila just a metre off making contact. Would have been an exquisite goal by these two. It's picked up once again by the impressive Medina Pez.
Oh, look at that. It's an absolute fabulous ball.
Melissa Flores has had the least to do during this second half. I don't think she's barely touched the ball, unless it's been a throw-in from Sweden that's gone the whole way, and she's had to just keep the ball in play. I don't think she's even touched it.
No, I can't remember her touching it. As I say, I could play in golf, and then honestly.
So, Dixie, you're definitely expert on this field of play, and I'm just the lead commentator. However, you've already picked up that I'm not the smartest guy around. But I would say now, preparations start already against how this team looks against Japan.
Yeah, Japan will get around them that much quicker. The two girls up front won't get as much time on the ball as what they've got now. They'll have to work their space, and it will be a true test of how good they really are. If they can get over and still keep passing it against Japan, I will be even more impressed.
Yeah, slight breathing room now for Sweden as they get just across towards the halfway line. However, it'll be picked up by the Argentines, and they'll play the ball softly. And not only can these attackers play well with the ball, the defenders can play it strung through the legs to Baronese. She's in on goal, loses her footing, and the keeper is able to pick that ball up. But good defending on that time, and the Swedes definitely not faltered for their effort.
No, they're giving 100% the goals from Sweden. Really, really trying, but it must be so hard to play against them. Yeah, they must be punch drunk, honestly. They're taking the right butter in you.
That's diplomatically being put as well, Dixie.
Here she comes again.
This time it's Baroness. She'll switch onto the right foot. He gets a deflection, and preventing the corner is Moaberg, who once again be the most employed player of this Swedish team. That's a wasted throw by her as it goes to Baroness, and that's the worst person that could have the ball for Sweden right now. It goes across, and they're just not going to relent. They're keeping both Baroness and Aguila on this field of play. Another chip ball across. It'll fall to the feet of Aguila. She'll try work her magic again, and she'll perhaps knock that ball, and it's beautiful football. I mean, it's get the ball, pass the ball. It's Pep Guardiola stuff.
I say, it's Man City on steroids, isn't it? Here she comes.
Oh, and it's a great shot, and what a goal! And Aguila is having her way. As cool as the other side of the pillow, slots that ball right into the bottom corner, and we have game, set and match, and stick a fork in these Swedes. They're done.
Oh, yeah, it was brilliant. It was 8 on the left board, and she's come off that board, and she got into probably 8 metres outside the goal, and it wasn't so much power on that one. It was the accuracy. It just clipped the inside of the post as it went in, because it went through a crowd of players, clipped the inside of the post. Keeper didn't have a chance. 3-0. That's it, I'm afraid, for Sweden. But they'll have a third, fourth place playoff game against India to look forward to. So, no disgrace to lose to this team, I tell you.
No, it's not. And it sets the scene quite well, because both Japan and Argentina are really offensive-minded. They really want to go at their opposition. So you would imagine that it's quite an open game in terms of both teams going for it, which we hope to see. But also in the third and fourth place position, it gives Sweden and India a little bit more confidence to venture out, because they are also defensive-minded, I would say.
Yeah, and ability-wise, they're very similar.
Yeah,
I would say, suggest that, player for player, there wouldn't be a lot difference between the Indians and Sweden. It's just the young girls have gone off now. The 2 girls up front, they've gone, I think. It looks like, to me, there was 2 substitutions done then. Yeah, I don't think he's wrapping up Cornwall. They've done enough. Yeah, so this game's done for now, really. I can't see Sweden are not going to come back into it, and the Argentinian coach has decided, I don't need any more goals.
And elsewhere in the world of football, with 23 minutes gone in the Women's World Cup final, Spain and England is 0-0. So possibly a little bit of a chess match happening right now in that one, and we'll keep you up to date as much as we can within possibly the next 4 minutes of this game. But right here in Bournemouth Stadium in Birmingham, it's Argentina 3, Sweden 0 in this women's blind semi-final. A chance to play. Japan beckons, and it looks like already Argentina are shooing for that place in the final.
Right, then it's a free kick to the Argentines. There's a bit of a shirt pull there, so referee's on the spot and giving a free kick, and it's a free kick from inside the centre circle, middle of goal.
Goalkeeper Moaberg lining up her wall. It's a 2-person wall with another 2 people behind, and just to spoil the party, they've got a timeout. She'll have to go through that all again.
Yeah, and the Argentines have called a timeout. It's quite warm here, so he's probably called a timeout to get some drinks down the players.
So if you're looking at other sports, timeouts are called regularly in other games, particularly the sport of basketball. And, they've probably had a look at what the defenders are doing right here, and they'll have a chance to really put something together in terms of strategy. So coming out, you've got a 2-person wall, a 2-person behind Dixie, and the Argentines now will go to a timeout with already having seen the coaching staff what is on the floor in front of them. So a chance to really, especially with the passing level of these Argentines, threaten the goal once again for Sweden.
Yeah, they've seen what they're going to do, but I got to be honest, they've probably shut their eyes to it now because, as I say, this game's won, and and they've taken their two best players off the pitch. And to be fair, Argentina, I watched them earlier in the week, and they took them off then, and without those two up front, they're pretty ordinary. The rest of them, the other players in the team are there's no one anywhere near the level of the two strikers that have just departed. So,
but we say that week in, week out. We could say, looking at Liverpool in the Premier League, you could say, well, without Sadio Mane and Mo Salah, they're pretty ordinary. Yes, they are. Yeah. All right, but these guys, in a five-a-side competition, demand so much possession, Dixie.
Yeah, but it's a bigger percentage, isn't it, to start with? You've got 2 out of 5. And, and they're, Sadio Mane and Salah are good players, and they are better than most others. But not to the degree that those two young ladies are. They're just head and shoulders above everything else.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. We've just seen, as we've been talking, Agustina Medina Pez with a well-worked free kick. Once again, sting the palms of the Swedish goalkeeper. Not only have those two players contributed, I would say Medina Pez has been influential in not only the midfield, but also controlling anything that's gone through against the Argentines defensively.
Yeah, she's given them a good platform to build off, really, because they feel secure in... It's not a foul as well. They feel secure in going forward because they know they've got that player behind them who's going to, if anything does break down, that she'll mop it up. And she's done that with, really well. The shot.
So the ball will be invaded into our tent there and just slightly off target by the impressive Johanna Aguila. It's the first one she's put wrong, but it will fly in towards our tent, but we'll be fine and play will resume. Sweden going deep into Argentine territory. The ball will be on the goal line and it goes out for a goal kick. And Argentina will regain possession. It's thrown out to the impressive Medina Paez. She'll pick it up against the boards, drag the ball back and go into the middle of the field, into the centre circle. What a beautiful ball she's played across. And it's gone across. And there's Aguila once again taking the shot. Oh, it's not. They've made the substitution at last. Yeah, they've taken off the two superstars, and we're now watching Elena Quinteros and Guillermina Corrales.
Yeah, she does look similar to her. She's a similar build and similar hairstyle, but
similar skill as well.
Yeah, she's a good player, but not up to the level of the two that's left. But
Quinteros has the ball against the barriers on the left side. She loses out to the bigger Carlson, who's quietly had a good game too. Not involved as much in this second half because it's all been one-way traffic. But Sweden keeping playing hard, and their coaching staff will be more than happy with how far they've come in this competition, Dixie.
Oh yeah, for definite. They've done really, really well to get to this stage of the competition. So much is the same as what we said about India. They done really well to get here, and they've got nothing to be ashamed of at all.
Quinteros seeking the ball out there, just loses out, but she'll have a second bite at the cherry, and she does indeed pick this one up. It's back with the Swedish player, number 5, Alice Berntsen. Sweden have a chance to attack and could have had a shot on goal. Shot across the face of the goal, comes to nothing, and once again picked up by Medina Paez.
In the last 50 seconds.
And I'm very, very impressed by the Argentinian number 4 of the skill set she has. She not only dribbles the ball out and defends well, she's able to set up constant attacks and always seems to pick the correct option in passing either left or right.
Sounds like it's pretty even in Australia. We've at the bar, and Herbs has made a few good saves.
Referee's just stopping play. It'll be an Argentine free kick. There'll be 21 seconds remaining in this game. And just a big well done to this Swedish team who have stuck to their guns, a bit like India. Didn't go as far as probably the Indian team did. But the Swedish team, nevertheless, been great. There's a little cameo role for the number 3 coming in a great moment for Melody Alvarez to take to the field with 20 seconds left.
Yeah, just gets a few seconds on the pitch and get used to it.
She gets her name in the record books. It will go down as she played in the semi-final, and you know nothing is better than playing for your country.
Yep.
Argentina will have one last chance to come forward. It's with Quinteres. And Quinta Ross. Sorry, just misses, and that will be all she wrote with 6 seconds to go. Dixie, it's been a really good route to the finals for both of these teams, but it will be Argentina who face off against Japan, and a really, really convincing victory against the Swedes. And first of all, let's talk about how well the Swedes have done in this competition, Dixie.
Yeah, they've done really well to get here, and they haven't let themselves down in the final. They kept plugging away, and they kept trying to do the right things. And so, as I said, they go into the third, fourth place playoff. You know, they could end up third in the world. So it's been a great 10 days for them to get to this level, and the coach must be very pleased and proud of his team, and they've certainly they haven't let him down, that's for sure, and they've all stuck in it together, and they'll go on and play in the third, fourth place playoff game. And
so as you see the highlights, both of these teams will play tomorrow. Sweden will play India for third place, but the big one will be Japan against the Argentines. And just talk us through how impressive you've thought this Argentina team has been, Dixie.
I saw them. I think the first time I saw them was the Sunday or Monday. I rocked in so many games, and I was blown away with them that day. And I thought, oh, that is the team that's going to get through to the final. You could just tell after 5 minutes they got quality written all over them. They're strong at the back. They can mix it up if they need to. The two ladies up front are just a different class to anything else that's around. And their stature, we're looking at them now and they're all hugging the Swedish players. Now I know Swedes are particularly tall, but the two Argentine girls who play up front, honestly, it looks like the land of the giants, compared to them. But as I say, they're so strong and they're so knowledgeable, and they definitely got something between them that is special. The two girls, they seem to know where each other are all the time, and that takes some doing.
They do, Dixie, and you've relayed the finer points there in how well they've played, but you also referred to the size, and someone once told me it's never the size of the fight in the dog. It's never the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog, and those two have been tenacious as they come. Every loose ball was theirs. Not only did they attack well, they really regained possession well for the team, and it just seemed like Sweden just couldn't get out of their own half.
No, they couldn't. And as I say, if they got Sweden got past the front two, the two girls at the back for Argentina are really, really strong. So, we didn't see a save by the Argentine keeper at all, as far as I can remember.
No, we didn't. I remember you saying you could have played in goal. it was that easy. But anyway, we'll move on. We look forward to tomorrow's women's game. We do have some men's games coming up later today, so please stay tuned on the YouTube channel. But for now, from me and the impressive Dixie Dean, we'll look forward to moving forward for the rest of the day. And congratulations, Japan. Congratulations, Argentina, for making that final tomorrow. Thank you for being with us. We look forward to being with you for these next few.